your number one source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to high school football on the Scenic Sports Network. We're here at Providence Christian Academy, and Providence taking on Northside Methodist in a Week 2 matchup. Mike Bridges here alongside Corey Driggers, our second year doing the broadcast. And Corey, weren't sure we were going to have a 2020 football season, but here we are in Week 2.
It is certainly a blessing to be here tonight. It's a beautiful night, obviously, for football. And you've got these two first-time, or these city rivals, are about to establish a new city rivalry here in a first-time meeting between Northside and Providence, of course.
Northside coming off a big win last week against Houston County, their first in the AHSAA competition, and Providence taking on Rehoboth last week, two classes larger, losing that one 18-0. We expect to see a little bit better action from both teams, usually a little bit better in Week 2 than you were Week 1. So here we are with the opening kickoff. Northside going to kick it off. Providence going to receive. It's a bit of a pooch kick. Providence takes it at about the 23-yard line, right up the gut. A pretty good run back up to about the 35-yard line. That's where Providence will take over.
Yeah, that was Grant Weatherford on the return, but nice coverage by Northside there. I think they gave up a long kick return last week. Looks like they may have cleaned that up during the week of practice.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about kickoff returns once Northside gets the ball, because they did have a long kickoff return. But here we are with Providence. We expect to see a little bit more of a crisp offensive game. Last week against Rehoboth, they were a little out of sorts. You have a lot of players playing positions that they haven't played before. So we have Jake Smith at quarterback. He's in the shotgun. He's going to take and go straight up the gut to Gus Goldsboro. He pounds his way up for about a 5-yard gain and a good start for Providence.
Certainly. Offensive line got a good push there, and we think that's going to be one of our strengths as the year goes along, as they start to gel a little more. So it's good to see them get 5 yards on that first carry.
Yeah, and if you tuned in to the Rehoboth game last week, Jake Smith, the quarterback for Providence, was ejected on the first defensive series, and so Harrison Mims had to come in. So that had a little bit to do with the offense for Providence. Not quite as crisp as they could be, so we expect a little bit more crisp action with Jake back in there at quarterback. So we have a strong set to the left. Jake comes back. He's going to keep it himself right up the gut. Got a little bit of a hole. Spins his way for a first down. Gets about 8 yards, and Providence has the first down of the game.
Again, nice hole on the left side. Jake was patient to wait for it to develop. And, Jake Smith, you'll see as the year goes along, this kid has a lot of speed, and he is a really strong guy in the weight room, and we're going to see his athleticism show up for Providence this year. Very, very athletic as well, and he's one of the strongest guys in his class, one of the strongest guys on the team, like you said. So here we are. First and 10, first down of the game. Providence with the ball on their own 48-yard line. Smith takes it. He's going to pass for the first time. Goes over the top, wide open. Reed Linder, the tight end, gets down to the 30. Gets a good block down to the 20. Looks like they're going to call a hold about 10 seconds after the play, but Providence with a good first down play there. Yeah, no question. They're going to lose some yardage because the hole is so far down the field, though. It's still going to be a very positive play, and a really nice throw there by Jake Smith. You see the arm he's got. Jake's obviously a phenomenal baseball player, but he knows how to deliver the football, too. It was nice to see Linder getting some action early, and you know what that does? That's going to loosen up that defense. When we throw the ball that way, that's going to open up our running game, and big things will happen if we can keep that up. And Providence not really known for throwing the ball, so it was probably a little bit of a surprise to Northside to see a pass so early in the game. And last week, with Jake going out, Harrison Mims had some trouble passing the ball once Providence needed to pass it. Still going to be still on about the 33-yard line. So, again, still good play. You want to clean those penalties up, but a nice throw there by Jake. And as I said a minute ago, Jake, with the arm that he has, we're going to see us throwing the ball, I think, a lot more this year based on what I hear. Absolutely. So, give it a 19-yard gain, 29 yards. They got 10 back on the penalty. Providence having to clean up the penalties, had quite a few in the first half last week against Rehoboth.
So Goldsboro goes in motion. He takes the pitch out. Got a host of blockers out front. He's going to get around the corner, and he tries to make a cut. Slips just a little bit. It's going to be enough for a first down. And one thing, Corey, if you notice there, that the pitch that Jake makes, he makes it with his hand across his body. A little bit different than you're used to seeing.
That was interesting. One good thing to see there is to see our linemen get off their blocks and lead the way over the left side there. I saw Jonathan Wells, Ian Smith, and Grant Weatherford also did a good job of blocking there for Gus.
And so far, this drive much more crisp than what we saw last week against Rehoboth. Smith in the backfield once again, gonna hand it off inside to Goldsboro. Gets inside, a nice cut to the outside. Looks like he's gonna get into the end zone for the touchdown. Give him 22 yards, possibly. There we go. It's a touchdown for Gus Goldsboro, and Providence on the board in just under 2.5 minutes.
Well, as the Providence coaches, the Providence fans, obviously that's what you want to see is a march down the field with some authority right at the beginning. Goldsboro there cut it right and then made a great cut back to the left for the touchdown. That's just great vision by Gus there.
And that's something we didn't see last week when they had some opportunities. Were not able to cut, but Gus made a great cut right there. Takes it in for the touchdown, 22 yards out. A very crisp opening drive for Providence. Here's John Jeter on for the extra point.
Snap, the hold, the kick is
and the kick is good. It's 7-0 Providence, their first score of the 2020 season.
No better way to do it right there. Mixing it up, ran the ball really well, obviously, on that first drive, but to mix in that pass and to finish it with a good run like that. And, that's nice to see John Jeter. We knew he had a good leg. He did a good job last year, and he looks even better just on that first PAT there from even what we saw last year.
Yeah, a couple of times last week, we thought Providence might go for some field goals. They missed it on 4th down in Rehoboth territory and then were stuffed at the 2-yard line twice. And both times at the time would have made it a 6-all game. Thought we might see Jeter. We're not able to see him kick at all last week, except for the opening kickoff was the only time we really saw that. So here we go now with Northside going to take the kick, and this could be interesting. Kennard Miller, number 1, back. He's in the middle of the screen. He got the opening kickoff, the first play for Northside Methodist last week in SAA action, and took it back for a touchdown. No better way to start when you're going up in class and everything. So we'll see if Providence kicks it to Miller or if they're going to pooch it.
Yeah, we're kicking a little bit into the wind here, and as strong as Jeter's leg is, it will be interesting to see what they do. I feel like we'll see some sort of squib kick here.
Yeah, and it is a squib kick. Takes a nice bounce, goes all the way back to about the 15-yard line, and Northside takes it and gets a good return up to about the 28-yard line.
Yeah, Providence will take that. Good coverage on that. A good bounce there for Jeter on the squib kick to let our guys get down there and cover that up.
And so Northside Methodist will take over at about the 27-yard line, and they predominantly last week ran the ball, had over 360 yards rushing in the game, and 341 yards rushing, but about 260 that was in the first half. So we expect to see a lot of running, expect to see Kason Eubanks, number 2, the quarterback running it, Kennard Miller, and also Tyler Grantham, number 5. So here we go, opening up with Kason Eubanks, number 2, in the shotgun. We got a man in motion. It's a handoff. Going to try a sweep around the corner. Providence doing a good job with it, strung it out, maybe a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, that was number 5, Tyler Grantham on the carry. I see Linder on the stop there, along with a couple of other Eagles. Number 3, that is Tate Thornell in on the stop as well. So good defensive stop there on the first play.
Yeah, and absolutely. And the cornerback there on the side wants to keep the play right there in front of him so it can't string out and he can't turn the corner. Tate Thornell doing a good job there to string it out and let his mates come and get that tackle. All right, so now Eubanks still in the backfield, and Kennard Miller, who had over 100 yards rushing last week, including a 73-yard touchdown, he gets it on the outside. They're trying to get his speed. He gets a couple of stiff arms, but once again, Providence up to the task. Give him about a 4-yard gain there. It's going to bring up 3rd and 6.
Yeah, Abe Chancellor, number 8, did a good job of holding him up there, getting a little help there at the end from Harrison Mims, number 10. It's good to see Harrison with those fresh legs and not having to play both ways so much tonight. He's going to be a fine middle linebacker, and you want a middle linebacker to be as fresh as possible so they can cover sideline to sideline. Harrison does it there.
So here we go, the first 3rd down of the game for either team. And we have Miller. You got to keep your eye on the far side of the field. Eubanks is just going to roll a little bit, going to go down the field. Got a man open. A good catch right there at the 50-yard line. Northside getting their first down of the game.
Yeah, number 6, Luca Mansell, a senior for Northside. That was a fingertip grab. What a great catch by that young man. And a great throw by the quarterback. He put it where only the receiver could make the catch, and he certainly did a good job of doing that. So they're moving the change, and it's really a contrast between the offenses here. We're seeing Northside spreading it out really early.
So that's an 18-yard gain, so 1st and 10 at the 50. And here's an inside handoff that's going to net maybe a yard, maybe 2 yards right there. Going to bring up a 2nd down in just about 8.5.
Yeah, that's Tyler Small on the carry for them. I saw several Eagles, Gus Goldsboro being one of them, number 23, on the stop there.
So last week, Kennard Miller, number 1, had a long 73-yard touchdown run. They've been using him a little bit more in the slot. Tried to get it to him one time. We'll see if they try to do it again this time. Eubanks is going to roll out. It's going to go down the field. It's a little bit of a high throw, but it's a catch. And getting open down to about the 28-yard line, and Northside Methodist has himself something here.
That's Tyler Grantham again, out from the wide receiver spot. A good route, created some separation there against Abe Chancellor. Abe couldn't quite hold on for the tackle, so he got a few yards after the catch there. Fortunately, we were able to clean it up before we broke for the touchdown run.
Yeah, that got close, but it looks like we have a penalty, and that's something that really plagued Northside last week. Lots and lots of penalties, 35 in the game, and they had almost 271 yards in penalty yards, and that really negates a good gain for them.
Yeah, no question. They had 20 penalties last week, and as a coach, I can't think of anything that would drive you crazier than that. So we needed that as Providence, but that's not what you want to see from on the Northside sideline.
Not at all, and absolutely one of my favorite things is that they call illegal procedure and let the play go. I mean, it's illegal procedure. You stop it and you do the 5 yards, but here we are, 2nd down and 12. Northside Methodist has done it through the air and also on the ground on this drive. 8:12 to go. They're going to go on the outside. Just a little swing pass, some good yardage, getting back most of the yards on that penalty. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, nice catch, nice throw there. Number 77, Jackson Dykes on the stop for the Eagles, though. Good to see him coming from his defensive line position out to make that play on the screen.
And I think we're a little surprised here that Northside's throwing it as much as they did. Last week they only threw it 12 times. They've already thrown it 4 times tonight. Here we are in a 3rd down and 9, which you would think would be an obvious passing situation. Using all the clock, still 10 seconds to go in the play clock. The play is called. Eubanks going to take it from the shotgun. Moves forward, is going to roll out once again. Looks like he's got a man open, gets it out to Miller, who makes the sidestep, and almost, now that's going to be really close. He's going to get the 1st down, almost went back and didn't get the 1st down, but that was a good play by Miller to be able to power his way up for that 1st down.
You're right. He had the 1st down, stepped back behind it to try to get a little extra yardage, and he almost cost himself there. But, you got to be impressed with Eubanks' arm early. I mean, this kid's throwing the ball really, really well so far tonight.
Very accurate. They've done a good job getting just a little swing passes, get him into kind of the rhythm of the game, and then rolling him out and taking the slot receiver and rolling with him, and that's just something that Providence is going to need to kind of adjust to. Here we go, 1st and 10, the ball at the 39-yard line. Eubanks going to take it straight up the middle and get just about 2 yards.
Yeah, I tried to fake the little screen out to the left there and then run the little draw play, but fortunately the Eagles read it well. Ford Register, number 38, and a couple of other Eagles on the stop there.
Yeah, tried to kind of push them out of the way, and Providence was able to hold their line there. So it brings up 2nd down and 8. This is a drive that's taken just about 3 minutes. At the 37-yard line, 6.5 minutes to go in the 1st quarter. Providence leading 7-0. So So it looks like Northside's going to take a timeout here. Something about the set the coach didn't like, so he's going to bring them over with 6 minutes and 18 seconds to go. 7-0 Providence with the lead. And I would think the Providence coaches have to be thinking to themselves, this is a little bit different than what we expected with 260, almost 270 rushing yards in the first half last week for Northside. And today they've already thrown the ball 5 times. And this is trying to keep stats while standing up and holding 500 other pieces of paper. It looks like they've got just about 40 yards passing already.
Yeah, and obviously Northside feels like that's something they can exploit. They've got some athletes on the edge, of course, including Miller, and we've seen number 5, Tyler Grantham, catch a couple of passes. You know, they think that's something that they can exploit against Providence, and so far, you know, they're moving the ball. If they won from penalties, you know, this will be a really successful drive, but they've still got it alive, and, you know, with 2nd down and 8, we'll see if they continue to spread it out and throw the ball.
So here we go, coming off the timeout. It is 2nd down and 8, and Northside Methodist the entire time has come from the shotgun, kind of spread it out, had 4, 5. Now they've got a bunch set on the left.
After the timeout, Knights have it. 2nd down, 8 yards to go.
And we'll see what Northside comes up with. Eubanks once again in the shotgun. It's going to be a fake, going to hand off. I think he wanted to go to the tight end. Now he's flushed out of the pocket, and he goes all the way down the field.
Wow.
Miller all by himself for the touchdown. That is a blown coverage, and Northside Methodist gets on the board with a 37-yard touchdown.
Yeah, that Eubanks saw him at the last minute and really threw almost a desperation pass. Barely got it off as he was being hit, but hey, credit him for getting it off. And yeah, busted coverage. I'm not sure what happened on the defense there, but boy, what a mess for us there.
Yeah, and Holland Harris was coming down on Eubanks, and Eubanks was just able to get the ball over the top of him before he was able to get there. So a successful opening drive for Northside Methodist. Now going on here for the extra point. And the extra point is blocked. That's a good block there, and also helped me because there's a tree between me and the goalpost, and would not be able to see if he made it or not. So very nice.
That was a good penetration there, but I think that not just the penetration, but that really started with a bad snap. That snap was high. The holder had to reach straight up to pull it down. He did actually a good job of even getting it on the ground. And Carter, who is an 8th grader playing varsity, was not able to lift it high enough to get over the rush. But a good job there by our Eagles. We needed that. You know, you never know. That point right there may be the difference in the ball game when the 4th quarter ends here.
Yeah, absolutely. Abe Chancellor got the block on that. And if there's one thing that Providence can say early in the season, no one can kick an extra point on them. So
it's a good point.
They've given up 4 scores, and no one's been able to get that extra point on them. So Providence leads 7-6 with 6 minutes to go, and will be receiving the second kickoff with their second opportunity with the ball.
Your number 1 source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
All right, back here at Providence Christian High School. 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Providence holding a 7-6 lead. Northside Methodist just going down and getting almost a Hail Mary type touchdown, 37-yard touchdown from Kason Eubanks to Kennard Miller to get on the scoreboard. The extra point was blocked, and so now Providence going to go on offense for the second time. It's Northside kicking off. Once again, go with the pooch kick. Providence gets it about the 27, makes a move, gets it about to the 35-yard line, similar to where they started on the last drive, and we'll see if they can keep the crispness that we saw in that first quarter.
You certainly hope so. That was Weatherford again on the return. A good job by the kicker there, kind of pinning him in the corner when he received the kick. Number 10, Luke Andrews for Northside on the tackle.
Yeah, he gets the ball at kind of the perfect height there, that it goes just far enough that gives his guys enough time to hem him in. If he kicks it a little bit more on the line, he's got a better chance to kind of run it down. So here we go. Jake Smith in at quarterback in the shotgun. We've got motion and a pitch out to Christian Durden. His first action, he gets a big run up to about the 47-yard line. So Durden's first action coming off a knee injury is about a 14-yard gain.
Yeah, it's certainly good to see Christian back out here. He got the knee brace on tonight, of course. He was out last week, as you just referred to, and we missed him last week. We needed that depth last week, and Christian's only a 10th grader, but he's got great size, good vision, and he runs really, really hard.
Absolutely. Put on about 20 pounds from last year. If you remember last year, his first carry in the HA game, he went 80 yards. And so he's got a lot of talent. He's wearing that brace because he had an injured meniscus, but it's his first action, and you can see the talent that he has. Smith gets it once again. It's a double handoff, and you go inside. Providence going to go outside down to about the 30-yard line. Good stiff arm. He might score here at the 15, 10, 5, and a touchdown on a kind of almost like a Fumble-Rooski type play.
It was. We've run that at Providence for several years, actually. The first handoff, then the running back then hands it over to Grant Weatherford, who cuts it out to the right, had an open field, and then does what every running back dreams of doing. Stiff arms the player to the ground, takes it to the house. Great job there by Weatherford.
Absolutely, and Weatherford had 2 good stiff arms last week as well, so he's been working on that stiff arm. And so Durden gets the ball, looks like he's going to take it, just does an inside handoff, and Grant does the rest, going down, makes that good play, and Providence, just like that, in 2 plays, goes 65 yards and look to go up 14-6. High snap, but Jeter kicks it right through, got plenty of leg, and just like that, Providence back on the board, 14-6 with 5:14 to go. That drive took less than a minute.
Wow. Great job of bouncing back. You know, anytime you punch somebody in the mouth and they punch you back with a TD like Northside just did to us, it's great to see the offense respond in that way. And, you know, if we can keep this going, I feel like we can make the adjustments to slow down Northside's passing games as it goes on a little further. But if we can keep running the ball this way, we'll be okay.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see second time around here for Northside if the passing is part of the attack for them or if they're going to go back to the run game. They certainly had good success with the passing, so why would you not do something like that? But we don't know what the game plan is. But Providence needs to make those adjustments and be able to stop them because it looks like right now Northside's going to have a tough time stopping Providence. So Kennard Miller is back once again for Northside, number 1 in the middle. As we noted at the first kickoff, he took a opening kickoff last week back for a touchdown. They pooched it last time, so we'll see if they do that again. It took a big bounce, and I don't know that they really want that big bounce again this time.
Yeah, you definitely got to keep it away from this guy. He's already shown his athleticism, obviously, on the offensive side. And special teams, we've got to keep him from getting a hold of the ball and making a big play.
Yeah, on that opening drive, over 50 yards of all-purpose. So once again, the ball is just kind of squibbed. That's the kind of bounce that you want right there. And Northside trying to get it outside actually made a pretty good move there to get the ball up to about the 33-yard line.
Yeah, good coverage. A nice little run there by the Northside player. It looked like number 29, I believe that was, for Providence, Bo Thornell. On the coverage, making the tackle.
Yeah, when the ball made that bounce, it's like, okay, that's perfect. And then when he made the one move, you're like, uh-oh. But luckily Providence was able to hang on because that had an opportunity to be a little bit bigger. So we'll see what Northside does here, coming out in very similar sets. Once again, Miller in the slot, Kaysen Eubanks in the shotgun, spread formation once again, going to pass it, going to get it right out to Miller right away. And Providence able to keep him with his speed, keep him to about a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, that's number 8, Abe Chancellor, at cornerback there, making that play. And, you know, I know Miller's certainly got speed and he's fast, but Abe Chancellor can keep up with pretty much anybody.
Make that a gain of 5. And on the stop for the Eagles, number 8, Chancellor.
And so Kaysen Eubanks coming up on about 80 yards passing with just under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. And last week it was 6 of 12 on his passing, so already done more than he did last week.
Brings up second down and 5 for the Knights.
So at 2nd and 5, Eubanks once again going to get it right out to Miller once again, and Providence in a good position to limit that to just about a 7-yard gain.
Yeah, Miller showing that athleticism. Just get it in his hands and let him make something happen. And, you know, very positive play for Northside there. Got around Weatherford, and Goldsboro, the safety, comes over and forces him out of bounds.
Yeah, Northside did a nice job there on the outside as well of not doing a push in the back. That was very close on that one, and there's really no reason to do that. So spread formation, Northside Methodist at their own 46-yard line, going to go an inside handoff, and that gets just about 2 yards before knocked back. And Providence, a good job there because it looked like there was a hole at first.
It did. I saw 58 Matthew Morris, who plays center on the offense, playing some defensive line there in on the tackle with a couple of other Eagles as well.
So now that brings up 2nd down and 7. Clock moving, under 4.5 to go in the first quarter. Providence leading 14-6. And another interesting formation, not quite a bunch, but you've got 3 guys on one side. Once again, the pass going to go outside. Basically just getting guys in space is what Northside's trying to do here. And it's working as they get it pretty close to a first down. I think they're going to give them just about 6 yards.
Yeah, first down. Number 5, Tyler Grantham on the reception. That was almost like in basketball where you isolate and go one-on-one. They had Grantham way at the top of the formation all by himself. Eubanks got it out quickly to him, and they're just wanting him to make a play. And nice, well-designed play there.
Right, just getting the ball on the outside, getting guys in space. Going to be an inside handoff where Kaysen's going to keep it himself, and he is drugged down. That had an opportunity to be a big play, but Providence able to hold it to just a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, what a nice play there by sophomore, number 38, Ford Register. I mean, that's just effort right there. He hung on with one hand and brought him down. That was a good job by Ford.
Yeah, Eubanks had 110 yards rushing last week, so he's very formidable back there running. And Providence so far able to keep him to just 4 yards here in the first quarter. 2nd down and 7, and a little bit more of the traditional set that we've seen so far from Northside in the first quarter. Spread out. 10 seconds to go on the play clock. They get the second call in from the sideline. Eubanks once again going to fake like he's going to go down to Miller, going to put it right out in front. And the receiver had an opportunity just a little bit out in front of him, but it was kind of like the old hitch and go.
Yeah, good idea there. I mean, you know, everybody's been focusing on Miller, and they faked the little screen to him, and then they try to go over the top to Grantham, who's had a good night already, too. Pretty good coverage there on that. We weren't fooled by it, and a little overthrown as well by Eubanks. So
you can see the good arm that he has there as he put a nice trajectory on it, let his guy run underneath it, just couldn't quite connect. So it brings up a 3rd and 7, second opportunity for 3rd and long. Last time Northside was able to overcome it. We'll see if Providence is able to stop them. It's going to be a quick pass once again to the outside, and Providence has this defense very well down to about the 40-yard line. So now here's a decision for you. It's going to be 4th down and about 4, and we'll see what Northside wants to do. It's the first real big decision of the game.
Yeah, nice play there. Jake Smith, saw Tate Thornell, I believe Ford Register even from the middle ran a long way to help make that play. You know, the reason that wasn't a first down, the quarterback threw that a little behind the receiver, and he wasn't able to catch it as he was in stride anyway, so he had to reach back, and that cost him.
So it's 4th down and 6. Eubanks going to roll out. He's going to go deep down the field once again. This ball is going to be intercepted by Gus Goldsboro, and then he drops the ball. And then, as we see a lot of times, way after the play, the penalty is thrown.
Yeah, obviously I don't have the benefit of instant replay. I missed that contact by about a split second, but it looked like they tangled their feet up to me because both of them fell. The Providence defender and the Northside receiver fell, but
I agree. That's what I saw, and then the ball's 12 yards over their head. So it's kind of a tough penalty, but in high school, if it looks like a penalty, they'll call a penalty. So Northside Methodist gets the first break of the game, overcoming a 4th down and 6 with an overthrow. And that's the worst part about that play, too. The ball was so overthrown that even if he'd have been there, he wouldn't have been able to get it.
Yeah, and I don't believe that is the rule in the high school football, that is, if it's an uncatchable pass, that they wave it off.
Well, I think that we should lobby for that here tonight and see if we can get that. So Eubanks back to pass once again, rolls out. He's going to go up top. Miller's open, and a good play by Providence to knock the ball away and brings down a second down and 10.
Well, we had an unfortunate break to play before, but I'll say we got fortunate with that one. That was a nice little out and up route by Miller, and he was open. The ball was a little underthrown, and Weatherford didn't turn around to make a play on it, but fortunately he didn't make contact with Miller before the ball hit him, I believe, in the helmet. That is Weatherford. So I think we got lucky on that one.
And very much last week against Rehoboth, a similar play where he jumped into the receiver. This time he didn't jump into the receiver. So Eubanks going to keep it, going to go on the outside. Nowhere to go. He's going to go back the other way, and we'll see what he's able to do. He makes a couple of good moves there. You can see his ability as a runner. He ran about 26 yards and going to end up getting 1.
Yeah, great athleticism there. I mean, really taking nothing and making something out of it. We see Holland Harris, 65, along with another Eagle. I couldn't see who that was making the stop there.
Yeah, there was a real opportunity for blindside block and all kinds of other stuff, and Northside did a good job of not kind of over-blocking on that play.
They did. Showed some discipline there, as they did on a play earlier that you referenced when they could have blocked in the back. That's
Absolutely. So learn from week 1 into week 2. So 3rd and 8 from the 23. Eubanks is going to just go straight back. He's looking to the right side. He's going to throw it. And Jake Smith had an opportunity for an interception, but he was able to knock the ball away. Once again, the tree in my way, but I believe that he knocked that away.
Yeah, that was defended by Smith, as you said, intended for Aiden Rain, number 13 for Northside. Rain had a 28-yard touchdown catch last week. That ball slipped through Jake's hands, and Rain had a chance at it. It went through his hands as well. Another break for Providence there.
Yeah, when he first threw it, I thought that Jake had an opportunity to intercept it. So it's going to be 4th down and 8, 4th down and 9, so Northside going to take a timeout. They were able to overcome the last 4th down on a penalty, and they want to talk this one over with the ball at the 24-yard line with 1:17 to go in the first quarter. That seems like it's lasted 45 minutes.
Your number one source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
A 1:17 to go in the first quarter. 4th down and 9. Second 4th down on this drive for Providence, for Northside Methodist, and it looks like Providence is going to take a timeout. Wanted to see what that formation was, and then they're going to take a timeout here to take a look at it, because really, when you think about it, this is a really important play in the game. Not so much that Northside wants to continue on, but if Providence is able to stop them, so far Northside has not stopped them. Could be the difference from 14-12, 14-13 to 21-6.
Certainly, Mike. And, I see the little different formation that Northside came out in. It was not spread near as much as the formations we've seen earlier. Maybe that's why Providence called a timeout. It was something they hadn't seen before and wanted to talk that over. We'll see. Does Northside come out in the same formation, or do they switch it up on us again? Yeah,
it'll be interesting to find out after the game, too, if Northside came out a little different than they expected with this passing game, kind of swing passing game.
Well, our defense has certainly stood the test when they've tried to run the ball. Maybe Northside realized beforehand they couldn't run it on us so well, so they're trying to throw it. So that's what the game plan certainly looks like.
And really, Rehoboth had one real long drive last week on Providence. The rest were shorter fields for them. So here we go, Northside, not quite spread out like they have been in the past, a little bit different formation. Kennard Miller on your left at the line. And Eubanks is going to go back. He's pressured, and he's going to be sacked all the way back to the 40-yard line. Looks like Jonathan Wells with the biggest play of the game, and really the biggest play of the year so far for Providence.
No question. A 15-yard loss there on the sack. So not only do we get possession, we gain yardage on that defensive play. The original pressure was number 77. That's Jackson Dykes. He really flushed the quarterback out of the pocket, and then, as you said, Wells comes in and cleans it up. What a great work by that duo right there.
Yeah, we don't have the benefit of replay because it looked like Eubanks wanted to throw it and then stopped for this second, and that was all Wells needed to go in there and make a huge play. And as we said, 4th down and 9, it's going to be a big play in the game, so we'll see if Providence can take advantage of it. 1:10 to go in the first quarter. Providence 3rd possession of the quarter. Gus Goldsboro back in there in the backfield, and Jake Smith going to take the snap. Going to go up top. He's got 2 receivers open. The ball is underthrown and intercepted by Northside. The absolute last thing that you want to do for Providence is turn the ball over.
Yeah, great pressure coming from the left side of Northside defensive line. Smith was hit as he threw. Probably wish he had that one back so he didn't take the sack on that one. Underthrown passing. Number 10 for Northside, that is Luke Andrews, who had an INT last week, gets his first one tonight.
And I think once they look at the film on this, Jake will see the outside receiver. If he puts some air under it, it's probably a touchdown. So that's how quickly things can change in football. 8 seconds after Providence had all the momentum, they turned the ball over, and now at the Providence 47-yard line, Northside Methodist right back out there. They've run a lot of plays here in this first quarter. Miller's going to come in motion, going to go back outside. Eubanks going to look his way, going to go inside, and that ball was dropped, but it looked like Mims probably got in the way of it.
Yeah, he may have thrown or messed the receiver's line of sight up there. That's number 5, Tyler Grantham, who it was intended for, and Grantham's had sure hands so far tonight, but ball was thrown a little behind him, but you got to make that catch.
Mims was standing in front of him, so you never know if that sight line kind of got in his way as well. So now we got 2nd down and 10, under a minute to go in the first quarter. Providence leading 14-6. Cason Eubanks in the shotgun, spread out. It's going to go quickly to the outside, and Providence slows him down, doesn't make the tackle, but keeps him to about a 1 or 2 yard gain.
Yeah, that was number 8, Abe Chancellor, like he'd been shot out of a cannon. Made the contact, but didn't quite wrap him up. Fortunately, Harrison Mims was there to help clean it up for him. Another 3rd and long coming up here.
Yeah, and that's Grantham's 4th or 5th catch, so a lot of passing here in the first quarter as we're going under 30 seconds to go. 3rd down and 8. Spread formation once again. Eubanks going to roll out. He's going to go deeper down the field. There's a guy in the middle, and Jake Smith with a good play goes right over the top, does a good job of not going through the player, but kind of around him, and that's going to make it 4th down and 8, 18 seconds to go. You would think that they would want to punt the ball here, but they've gone for it 2 other times, 4th down.
Yeah, with this field position, I think you do punt it in a game like this. There's still just an 8-point game.
Looks like they're going to roll the dice here. 4th down and 8, their 3rd 4th down play. Now he's going to back out, going to do more like a quick kick. Kicks it down. Nobody really back for Providence. The ball's going to go all the way back to about the 7-yard line, and probably the best move there by Northside Methodist. You don't want to take any chances right around midfield.
Certainly. Nice job by Eubanks there. Just pooched it over our defense and got a good roll, and now we've got tough field. We had field position at the 40 a minute ago, and now here we are getting the ball back at the 10. But, it's good to see our defense stand up. When you have a turnover like that and another team gets the momentum like Northside had for just a second, our defense didn't bow down, and I was proud to see them stand up right there.
And you think about that, the passing game for Northside was really strong the first half of the first quarter, and Providence has made some adjustments, and the passing game not quite as sharp for them. So here we are at the 7-yard line. Providence, 1 play left here in the first quarter. You got Jake Smith in it, quarterback, and Gus Goldsboro in the backfield. Just a little bit of a motion, going to go an inside handoff, a big hole, and it looks like it's going to be enough for a 1st down. As I said, that would be the last play, and clock operator just lets it go. And going to end the quarter 14-6, Providence with the lead, just getting a 1st down up to about the 20-yard line after a 13-yard run. We're going to take a break here on the Scenic Sports Network, and we'll be right back with quarter number 2 between Providence and Northside.
Your number 1 source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
At Enterprise State, we believe college is for everyone who wants a path to something better. And we're Alabama's fastest growing community college because we're redefining what college can be. More affordable, more accessible, more of the programs you need to find a high-paying job or fast forward the career you've already started. Whether you come for advanced technical training or a solid academic foundation, you'll leave with the tools it takes to make your future happen faster. Learn more and get moving today.
Lewis Smith Supply is dedicated to offering a vast collection of fixtures, faucets, and accessories for your kitchen and bath. Make your dreams a reality. Step into the area's only Kohler Premier Showroom or see Delta's Brizo collection for the latest trends in kitchen and bathroom designs. Lewis Smith Supply offers an extensive line of plumbing supplies for contractors or do-it-yourselfers. For more inspiration, come visit one of our showrooms in Dothan or Enterprise.
Your number one source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Here we are back at Providence Christian High School, quarter number 2. Providence taking on Northside Methodist in the second game of the season. Providence leading 14-6 as we start the second quarter, coming off a 13-yard first down run. And it looks like Jake Smith was going to keep it there and ended up in the middle. Looks like he may have fumbled it, and he did. Last week, that was a problem for Providence with 2 big fumbles, both of them in Rehoboth territory, and Smith fumbles here, handing the ball to Northside Methodist in an easy 19 yards.
Wow, I mean, you never want to put the ball on the ground, obviously, but certainly not this deep in the opponent's territory. Number 7, Jacob Ford, a 10th grader, I believe, is the one for Northside who recovered that fumble.
So Providence looks so sharp in their first 2 possessions. The second 2 has resulted in an interception and a fumble. This last fumble giving Northside the ball at the 15-yard line. They're spreading out once again. You got Kennard Miller all the way out to the right. You got a slot receiver. We'll see what Eubanks is going to do. He's going to go with an inside handoff. That doesn't work. Actually, it's a tackle for a loss.
That's a great penetration there by 62, Ian Smith. Nice play, Ian. Going to bring up second and long.
So that's exactly what Providence needed to try to get a negative play, and that's going to put Northside behind the chains. They give him no gain, even though he was knocked back 3 yards. So here's Kason Edwards. Back to pass once again. He goes right over the top, and that ball had a guy open, but just a little bit high, and he's just not quite as sharp as he was early on in the game.
Yeah, that was intended for number 6, Luca Mansell, and as you said, just off his fingertips, a little too much air under that screen pass. And, you know, those screen passes, I mean, that's an art. I mean, you got to put it where you want it, and it's like very difficult to do, obviously, and he floated that one a little bit too high.
Yeah, so he had 10 completions in the first quarter, but he's had more incompletions since then. So bringing up 3rd down and 11, ball in the 16. Edwards going to go out to the right, going to go in toward the end zone, and it looks like he's got a touchdown. It's hard to tell from that angle.
Marked him just short, I believe, like at the 6-inch line maybe. That is number 5, Tyler Grantham on the catch. Just a nice route, created a little separation, and Eubanks put it on the money. I mean, he zipped that in there.
So that's a play that's been working for Northside. Eubanks either rolls to his left or rolls to his right, and now has the ball down there just about at the goal line. 14-6, Providence with the lead. And so now it looks like we've got a stoppage in play. There's a little bit of movement on the line. Not sure if someone jumped or someone went off sides.
Yeah, I don't see an actual flag, but Northside was just going to try to sneak it in from the quarterback position on that play.
So the officials call a timeout for some reason and put the ball back where it was. So we can see now better. It's just about a football length or 2 from the goal line. First down, 1st and goal from the 1-yard line.
First down and goal to go for the night. Ball missing inside the
Got their power set in, obviously.
So Eubanks is going to go straight up the guts. Hard to tell if he made it or not. They're going to give it to him. just barely, but Northside Methodist taking advantage of a fumble deep in Providence territory. Back on the board, it's 14-12 pending the extra point.
Yeah, the play before, I'm going to back up before the touchdown run there. The play before, they had tried to run the ball on first down. Second down, they tried the screen pass to the left. Well, you almost know they've got to go back to their bread and butter, whether that's number 1, Miller, or number 5, Grantham. And certainly Grantham was the one who got the call. I mean, that duo on that side is really explosive.
Yeah, and Providence hasn't really had too many answers for it. Jake Smith was able to make a good play on a ball, but the rest of them are basically overthrows or drops. So it looks like that Northside's going to go for 2 here. 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. They go with just a little bit more of a bunch set. You've got Miller all the way out to the right. You want to see if they're going to throw it out to him. Looks like I would think it was going to be another pass, and it is. It's a halfback pass to Kennard Miller, and we're tied at 14.
Yeah, they pitch it out to number 4, Tyler Small. Our defense crashes on him, and we leave Miller all alone in the back of the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So here we go, tie ball game.
Yeah, as soon as I saw him go in motion back that way, that's kind of what I thought the play was going to be. And you've got to keep your eye on Miller the whole time, regardless. So now it's 14 all. Providence sloppy on the last 2 possessions after a big 4th down sack, throwing an interception, then getting a stop, getting out of the shadow of their end zone. They fumble, and Northside Methodist able to take advantage of that and score tied right now 14 all with 11 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, Providence, obviously we pride ourselves on being a team that runs the ball, controls the clock, and when you want to be a team that way, you can't have turnovers. And we put it on the ground already tonight. We put it on the ground at least 1 time last week, maybe twice. 2 times. So, we've got to clean that up for sure. And again, we're early in the year. Going to make some mistakes. Got a lot of new faces. I mean, you don't lose the amount of seniors that we've lost over the last 2 years, the leadership and the players that Providence Christian has had, probably the best teams in school history, and not have some growing pains. So we're experiencing some of that a little early, but we'll get it right.
Well, the offense has looked more sharp than it did last week. It's just these last 2 possessions have to clean it up just a little bit. So here we go, Northside Methodist with the kickoff. With just a few guys on one side. They're going to just pooch it up once again. This is returnable. Goldsboro's going to get the ball at about the 14-yard line, going to try to outrun to the outside. He's got a little bit of a shadow on the outside. A good tackle at about the 34-yard line, but a good return for Goldsboro, and it gets Providence in pretty good field position, about where they started previous 2 times.
Yeah, Goldsboro got the corner there, and I thought he may have a little running room to break a long one, but out of nowhere, number 22, I believe it was, for Northside, Carter Stevens, who was also the kicker on that play, made a really, really nice stop there.
So Providence needs to get back into a rhythm offensively. Christian Durden in there, number 5 at the running back position. Jake Smith still in at quarterback. Durden's going to get the pitch on the outside. He's got a host of blockers on the outside, and he goes back inside. You can see him really pushing in there, and it's going to be pretty close to a first down. At least 9 yards on that gain.
Yeah, that was should have been a 4-yard gain, but Durden got that last 5 on his own. What a great effort there. You see just how hard he runs. A little miscommunication there from Northside. Had a player getting on the field as the ball was snapped on that play.
So the officials are going to measure to see if it is a first down, if he got 10 yards on that. If you want to be nitpicky just a little bit, he had a host of blockers outside. If he would have gone on the outside just a little bit with those blockers, he might have had a chance at a little bit bigger game. But you see the athletic ability that he has, the way he cuts in. Once he feels more confident on that knee, right now he doesn't feel confident on it. Once he feels confident, you're going to see a little bit stronger runner.
Yeah, I think we're going to see really, really good things out of Durden this year. And with Goldsboro playing safety on defense, that's really going to help us that we've got a running back like Durden that we can count on to keep Goldsboro fresh for defense and when he needs to play, of course, on the offensive side as well.
So Durden's touched the ball 3 times, 2 times running it, 1 time on the handoff for the long 49-yard touchdown run. He's got 24 yards on 2 carries. A good start to the season for him. He goes in motion. Smith with the inside handoff. Once again, that's successful, and that's going to net about 5 yards.
Yeah, a little misdirection there. Fake to the right, hand it back to Weatherford going left, and he made a cut back to the inside and made something positive out of it, but he was really close to being able to bounce that outside and making something big because Weatherford has the speed. If he can get on the edge, he can break it.
Well, it was disappointing because his per rush average was 49 yards, and with only a 5-yard run there, taking that average down. But you'll take 5 yards each time, under 10 minutes to go. Providence on the move, 2nd down and 5, an inside handoff. Durden's got some good speed right here. You can see he makes a couple of cuts left and right, and he goes down at about the 33-yard line. Give him just about 18 yards on that carry.
Well, I'll say this. We've got a good coaching staff, and I think they teach things very well. But what he just did on that first little cut with that shuffle, you don't teach that. And that was really impressive, number 5, Durden. Not just that first cut, but a couple of them, but really shifty there. Almost looked a little bit like our old running back from last year, didn't it?
Well, you can see that he sees what his ability is. He knew he couldn't get to the outside, so he went back inside to see how many more yards he could get. Once again, just getting back in that confidence. If you're just tuning in, he's coming off a injured meniscus. That's why he's wearing that brace on the left side. Also the first time in game action that he is running with the extra weight that he put on since last year. And so you can see he's going to be a very, very good running back once he can get that knee healthy and get himself under, what his body can do.
Your number one source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
.9:18 to go in the second quarter in a tie ball game. Providence Christian with the ball driving, starting at their own 33. Just got a long run from Christian Durden, number 5, his second time in the ball game. So it's 1st down and 10. Durden still in there, number 5. Jake Smith takes the handoff and gets it inside to Grant Weatherford, who gets just about 4 yards. Looked like he had an opportunity for more, but it was a good tackle.
He did. He had a lead blocker out there, number 5, Durden, and I don't think he quite read that block. I think if he had that run over, he would make that cut outside. I think Durden could have made that block and sprung him on the outside there.
Yeah, you kind of keep waiting for them to get to the outside, and Northside's done a good enough job to either string it out or make the tackle when they've needed to. 2nd down and 6. A bunch set, similar to what we saw on the previous play, but you got Durden up top, and he's going to bounce to the outside and make another move inside. You can see him start to get that speed all the way down to about the 10-yard line, about a 23-yard gain, and you could see a little bit of that burst on that run that we didn't see on the previous runs.
You certainly did. He went from 0 to 60 on that cut. That was very impressive. Just natural vision and a good job of running the ball. And then it's interesting, Coach Goodson, who's serving as the head coach tonight, I believe, is our offensive coordinator, and he's going with a hot hand right now. We've got Gus on the bench getting him a breather, which we need. Durden's running the ball well. Hey, keep feeding him.
Absolutely. And the more that he runs the ball, the more he's going to become more confident in that. You're going to see him as a better runner. All right, 1st down and 10. Looks like maybe they could get a 1st down without scoring. Jake's going to hold on to it for the first time. Going to go around the right side. Got a good opportunity. He's going to go in for the touchdown. 10-yard run for Jake Smith, and Providence back on top.
Hey, you saw Jake's speed there. He hit the hole. But, hey, we got to give credit. Number 3, Thornell. Number 2, Weatherford. Number 22, Linder. Those guys really made that play the success that it was in opening up that hole to the right side. But Jake is really, really fast. And we'll see him run the ball a lot to the outside like that, I'm sure, this year.
And what we talked about earlier, he had to feel bad for that fumble deep in his own territory, and he had to feel good to make up for that there to get that 10-yard touchdown run. All right, John Jeter in for the extra point, which a game like this, it's very, very important. I do want to point out that there's a tree in my way, so I'll have to wait for Corey to tell me if it's good or not.
It looks good from here. I lean left and good height on the kick, and yes, actually they say no good. I thought Jeter raised his hands. I guess he's not the authority on the kick, though. The ref waves it off.
So it looks like it is a missed extra point. So Providence with a 20-14 lead, 7.5 minutes to go. And they had 2 great drives to start the game. Had 2 drives where they had a fumble and an interception, and were able to come back on their 5th drive of the game and take it just about 67 yards down in just about 2.5 minutes to take a 20-14 lead.
Yeah, good job. That's Providence football, obviously, right there. Run left, run right, run left, run right. There's no secret. But, when you do something and you do it well, it doesn't matter if the other side knows what's coming. And our guys on the offensive line are executing well. The receivers are blocking and helping on the edges. So we can keep that up. Good things will keep happening on offense. And we got to keep holding on to the ball, obviously.
Absolutely. Turnovers will kill you every time. Same that we saw last week with Rehoboth, turning the ball over twice, and Rehoboth taking advantage of both of those. One of those, the ball popping out, and a guy able to return it 40 yards down to about the 10. Has to be encouraging for Providence tonight that so far on 4 carries, Christian Durden has 65 yards already.
That is very impressive. A great start for Durden. Missed him last week, but glad to see him getting the action that he's getting this week.
Last 2 kickoffs, John Jeter just squibbed it down, and you think that's what they're going to want to do. They don't want Kennard Miller to have any kind of shot at any kind of return. And once again, it is a squib kick, goes right to about the 30. A pretty decent return, a good hit right there, knocking him back, and they'll get the ball at about the 34, 35-yard line.
Yeah, that was Gus Goldsboro coming in with that hit. What a nice job by Goldsboro there. That was Gage Rhodes on the return, 10th grader from Northside, and was introduced to Goldsboro in a pretty forceful way there.
And Goldsboro did a good job too, just used his shoulder, didn't lower his head or anything like that, just put a good strong hit on him. So here comes Northside Methodist, who seems like they've run 100 plays already in this game. 7.5 minutes to go in the second quarter, and coming off a fumble recovery and a 15-yard drive where they scored a touchdown. Once again, they're going to go in the spread formation. Kennard Miller's going to get it kind of on a jet sweep. He goes back inside. You can see how shifty he is, but he is tackled right there at the point, maybe give him a yard.
Great job of containment, pushing him back to the middle. He brings it back. Number 38, linebacker forward register, was waiting for him to clean that play up. Very nice. Good job there, because, obviously if Miller gets to the edge, he can take it to the house on any play. So good job of keeping him contained there.
Yeah, they did a good job of making him cut back into the inside, and that's where you hope that all your teammates are there waiting for him. So it's 2nd down and 9. Miller now in the slot. Eubanks going to bring him in motion. Going to fake a similar play. Going to go right to the outside on a slant play. It looks like it goes to Grantham. It's going to be a 1st down.
Yeah, really nice route and a great throw. That was on the money, hit him in stride, and it's really hard to defend that. I mean, there's really not a whole lot you can do when that play's executed properly like it was there. It's tough to stop.
Yeah, the only thing you could do is try to jump it, but if you miss it, it's a touchdown. They're going to make it 3rd down and 1, and going to go the inside handoff, and he is stopped at the point of attack. A big stop right there by number 55, Michael Bridges.
I also saw 77 Jackson Dykes in there on that play. That's a great job out of the defense. You got to have them stepping up in that way. And I tell you, looking back, I didn't realize. I thought like you was a 1st down.
I thought it was
a pretty poor spot.
Yeah, I thought it was an obvious 1st down. So Providence getting the benefit and now making it 4th down and 2. And it looks like they're going to let the clock go down and probably call a timeout. I believe they're down to 1 timeout.
Tell you, being down a score and going for it on your opponent's side of the field, or when you're on your own side of the field, I'm not sure I would do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you got to kick this, get it in your hands of your defense, because you don't want to give a short field, and you also don't want to miss it. You've got a football team that's playing at this level for the first time, and you don't want to put them behind. They're behind 1 score right now. You hand the other team the ball in your territory if you don't get it.
Your number 1 source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
5:45 to go, 4th down and 2. Northside Methodist with their 5th 4th down attempt. We're going to see if they're going to go for it here, down 6. And it does look like they're going to go for it. Eubanks has a guy open, overthrows him. He was open, and Eubanks just over the top of him. So Providence holds, And now Northside Methodist has put themselves in a little bit of a bind here, giving the ball over in their own territory.
They have, and that was Grantham he was looking for, and of course Miller was up top with him. I had my eyes on them as soon as the ball was snapped. Grantham ran a great route. There was nobody within 7 or 8 yards of him.
Right.
Eubanks just let it float a little too high.
And Eubanks is going to learn. He's going to want to turn his hips into it because he's going to want to turn his hips and then throw it, and the ball's going to be more on a line than if you're going to kind of throw across your body.
So let's see if Providence makes it.
I know he's going to watch the broadcast, and he's going to like that advice. So here's an inside handoff to Gus Goldsboro. Makes a great move on the inside. He's off to the races down to about the 8-yard line. Give him 33 yards. And the last couple of times that Providence has had the ball, they're starting to get big chunks of yards.
Yeah, Goldsboro with a statement there. We've seen Durden doing well with Goldsboro and said, hey, don't forget about me. What a nice run there. The right side of the offensive line, I believe Griffin Barfield, 52, and a couple of others really opened that hole up for Gus there.
Competition will do that sometimes to you. So the last 2 times that Gus Goldsboro has got the ball, he's gone 22 yards and 33 yards. And so Providence now getting some big chunks of yards. Goldsboro still in there, first and goal at the 8-yard line. He's going to get the pitch out, got a host of blockers, going to walk right in for the touchdown, and Providence puts a second score on the board, and now up 26-14 pending the extra point.
Yeah, another nice run, but again, I hate not to give these offensive linemen credit. The running backs, you love them, they get all the credit, but that offensive line there, they were pushing people into the back of the end zone on that play. What a great job there by the line. I saw 65, Holland Harris, clearing somebody out, making it look easy for Goldsboro.
So it looks like Providence is going to go for 2 here, and honestly, I don't think that you need to go for 2. Go 27, go up, you're still up 2 scores. So here's Providence going to go for 2, up 26-14, missed the last extra point. Goldsboro goes in motion. He's going to take the pitch similar to the touchdown. And what do I know? He walks right in for the 2-point conversion, 28-14 Providence.
I admire you for putting yourself out there. At least you gave your opinion that, hey, we're all wrong from time to time, and you got to have more faith in that right side of that offensive line, Mike. Look at them. They're opening up holes big enough for a truck to drive through.
I was pretty convinced that Coach may call me after I made that great call there, but he knows better than I do. So great drive, exactly what Providence needed. They had the big stop on 3rd down, was able to hold them on 4th down, and able to go right down in 2 plays for the touchdown. And as a home team looking for your first win, that's exactly what you need to do.
Yeah, and as Northside, you got to be thinking, should we have punted that ball?
Absolutely.
We gave them a short field, and they really made them pay there. So good job by Providence capitalizing on that opportunity.
There's a lot of football to go. There's a whole second half to go. But at this point, you really feel like Northside needs to get a drive going here.
You would obviously they want that, and we've got 5 minutes left in the half, and they've held the ball a lot of this half. I obviously don't know what the time of possession is. I don't have that stat right here in front of me, but they held it a lot in the first quarter.
Well, Providence has a 1-play drive and a 2-play drive. So they were able to give the ball back to them a number of times, and that's why I said it feels like they've run 100 plays so far in this first half. Once again, it's going to do the squib kick. It goes right up to about the 29-yard line. A good move to the outside, but Providence all over it and gets the ball back to about the 33-yard line, and that squib kick's working.
It has. That was the running back duo on the tackle there, Goldsboro and Durden. Nice job of hemming him up and finishing that play off.
I wonder if he thought before the game started that he would have 2 kickoff returns right away. But done a nice job, because there's a lot of times in that when you're not kind of ready for it that you could drop the ball, anything could happen.
Yeah, he's fielded smooth. Looks like a middle infielder out there. A couple of them have had a funny hop, and he's done a good job.
So let's see what Northside can do. Down 28-14 after tying it at 14. Eubanks going to roll out to his right. He's got a guy going to put it up. Looks like it's going to be too far outside.
Extracurricular going on that one. That ball was overthrown by 10 yards, but the Providence defender hit him as the ball was going over his head. It was completely uncatchable. I don't know if they're calling interference or if there was a personal foul.
My guess is it's going to be an unsportsmanlike. There's really no reason for him to hit him like that, but I don't know if it was intentional. So the ball's at the 33. My guess is it's going to be a 15-yard penalty up to the 48. When you're up 28-14, you've got all the momentum, that's the last thing you want to do, especially with a ball that's overthrown.
No question. We had a couple of times last week where we gave some freebies and didn't play Providence Christian football. I know the coaches have talked about cleaning that up, and I know we'll keep working on that.
So they did call the personal foul on the play. So Northside was going to be looking at 2nd down and 10. Now gets from their 33, most likely up to the 48. Just under 5 minutes to go. Northside had just tied it at 14, and Providence able to take it down in just a few plays to go up 20-14. Hold Northside, get the ball back 2 plays later, go up 28-14. And as we said before, Northside really needs to put a drive together here. So Northside going with their bunch set to the left. This is the similar set that they ran where Miller got the long touchdown. And Eubank's going to go right over the middle. You kind of hold your breath on every little play now that happens. But the ball went right through about 3 guys' hands, and Jake Smith able to make sure that the receiver didn't get the ball.
Number 3, Tate Thornell, he dropped back in coverage there, and I think messed up the timing of the quarterback and the receiver. Good job by Tate dropping back there, and then we had the DB. I don't know, was that Jake, I believe, that with the hit?
It was. And we haven't seen Northside the last few possessions doing the just little quick pop, almost bubble screens. Eubank's going to go right as I say that, goes right over to Miller, who gets the ball and going to go up and probably get just about 7 or 8 yards. Probably give him 8 yards.
Yeah, a little short of the first there. I thought Reed Leonard was going to get his hand from his defensive end position on that pass. He reached over the blocker and just about got it.
So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 2. Northside needing to get a possession here. Down 2 touchdowns. About 10 seconds to go on the play clock. Northside gets up, looks at the defense, looks back at the coach. He'll make the play call. And Eubank's going to go over to his left, and the ball's knocked down at the point right there, and that's exactly what Providence needs. Going to bring up a 4th down and 3, and Northside's been living on these 4th downs.
Yeah, number 10 there, Harrison Mims, almost had the interception there, right where you want your middle linebacker to be, flowing with the quarterback. And we see the last couple of plays, they've had Miller on the short side. They've been having him to the far side and letting him spread out a little more. Not sure if they saw something they wanted to try to exploit there or not, but it didn't work that time, fortunately, for the Eagles.
Well, it's tough to ask a quarterback that's right-handed to go left. You got to square yourself up and throw it, and the defense at that point knows what you're going to do. I agree with you. I don't know why you wouldn't put Miller a little bit more out. I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't a fake punt.
Lining up in punt formation for the Knights, number 22, Carter Stevens.
And Carter Stevens with a punt that looks like it's going to go, he gets a good bounce, and it looked like it was only going to go about 4 or 5 yards. Looks like he's going to give him about maybe 15 yards. But Providence, pretty good field position, going to start at about the 27-yard line.
And we'll see if our offense can keep it going, really look good the last couple of drives. We need to keep the running game going. Let's see if it's going to be Goldsboro or Durden. Looks like Durden is going to be the one at running back to begin this drive anyway.
Yeah, it looks like that they're just going each possession and give each guy an opportunity. But the last 4 runs between the two of them, 8 yards, 33 yards, 23 yards, 18 yards, 22 yards. Getting big chunks of yards here. So 1st down, 4.5 minutes to go. Providence with a 2-touchdown lead. Going to go with the inside handoff to Durden. He breaks free, runs over 2 guys, gets up to about 11 or 12 yards there. Another good run by him. Every one of his runs have been double digits. And he's looking at already 76 yards in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, great job of running through the tackle. When you've got the yards after contact, you want a running back who can give that to you. And, he just ran through that first tackle. I thought he had him wrapped up. And Durden pops out and gets another 5 or 6 yards.
A little bit game inside the game. Northside will get the second half kickoff, so you do want to get another score here. You also have a guy like Durden that's going to run hard like that, and if you've got a big lead, you have an opportunity to just run him over guys. Here's another big chunk play by Providence on 1st down. Give him 20 yards on the carry right there.
Yeah, they're starting to key on starting to key on Durden, We fake the handoff to him, give it back to Weatherford coming the opposite way, and he's got a lot of room. Just a well-designed play. Again, Providence football doing what they do.
And like you said, give the offensive line a lot of credit here. They're really opening up the holes, opening up in the middle part as well. And the running backs have been 4, 5, 6 yards before they can even figure out which cut they want to make.
That's a good problem to have, huh?
It is. 4 minutes to go. Providence with a 2-touchdown lead. And Jake Smith going to hold it once again right up the middle, runs over a couple of guys, has an opportunity, spins out, gets to the 20, back inside to the 15, down to the 10, down to the 5. Corey, the tree's in my way.
Oh, he's down about the 1 yard line.
Looks like he's going to be short. I've got to talk to the maintenance guy next week that we got to get this tree trimmed in front of me. But an awesome run
with a call
there.
From now on, when the tree's involved. But yeah, nice run there by Jake Smith. A lot of effort on that play. I mean, they had him, I don't know how many guys touched him, 4 or 5 before they finally brought him down just inside or just at the 1 yard line.
Well, he shows that athletic ability where he jumped out of about 3 tackles for a 41-yard run. Providence just getting chunks of yards right now. Now they're at the 1. You feel like this is going to be a Durden run. Gives it right to him. He walks right in for the touchdown, and for the 3rd straight possession following the fumble, Providence has put a score on the board and done it in pretty impressive fashion.
Yeah, just a great setup there again by the right side of the offensive line, making that easy on Durden, as you said, just walked it in. Going back to the play before, though, we've said for years, it seems like years, I guess it's been 2 or 3, we've seen Collins McClintock run that same play. He fakes the little handoff and just hits that seam up the middle, and had a throwback there, thinking of Collins for a second, but Jake Smith making his own name right there. Good job.
Absolutely. He's a strong runner, and a little bit probably as strong a runner as Providence has had at the quarterback position. Here we go once again, going to do the extra point.
And that one I do believe is good. It was a low snap handled well by Weatherford, who got it down in place, and Jeter boots it through.
So Providence at one point here in the second quarter was tied at 14, getting the ball back, has reeled off 3 straight touchdowns to take a 35-14 lead with 3.5 minutes to go, just getting chunks of yards. Corey, the last few possessions have been a 20-yard run, 11-yard run, 23-yard run, 33-yard run, 22, 41, 10, 49. They're just getting chunks of yards here.
They are. We see them, the offensive line, starting to have their way. And again, we knew they had to have some time to gel. Last week, first game, the old saying, there's always the most improvement from the first game to the second. And we certainly see that out of the Providence offense and defense, for that matter, tonight. I want to give a shout out real quick to our number 33 for Providence. I see him on the sideline in the wheelchair. That's Jackson Cook, who was injured last week. Hate to see that young man go down with the injury that he had, and certainly hope he makes a full recovery. Hate to see a senior especially be injured like that and not be able to play his senior year.
Well, with all the work that you put in, not knowing if you're going to have a season, to have it taken away from you after the first game is tough. All right, here's Jeter, who squibbed it every time up. Let's see what he does here. Once again, does the same type squib. Goes right down to about the 33-yard line. Going to try a little bit different route this time. Northside gets him about 5 more yards. And with 3:27 to go in the second quarter, Northside Methodist will start at about the 37-yard line. And the last 2 possessions, we said they need to get something going. They really cannot give the ball back to Providence. The game inside the game. Game inside the game. If Northside can go down and score, hold Providence, get the kickoff back, and again, they're right back in this. But if they don't get a first down here and turn it back over to Providence, it may be tough sledding.
You're exactly right. You want to see the Providence defense stand up right here, hold them, get another score before the half, and they're feeling really good about themselves if we can take that into halftime that way.
So they're going to do a bunch set on the right side, have a lot of movement right here by Northside. Now you've got Miller going right up on the line. Got a little bit of a motion play. This is the first time we've seen that. Almost looked like he might have wanted to throw the ball, but he held it and went out of bounds. Maybe a yard gain, maybe.
Trying to get the edge there, but the Providence defense showing great discipline, staying in their spots, strung it out. Now I see Linder, I see Harrison Mims, several guys over there making that play.
The officials look like they're talking. It looks like there could be a flag down. Looks like there's a face mask. and that's going to give Northside some extra yardage, also going to give them a first down.
Yeah, nice defensive stop, we thought, and then, of course, the yellow being on the field. I didn't see that. That's so far. That's on the other side. I didn't see the play, the face mask or the flag being thrown, actually. So.
Yeah, it's hard from our vantage point out here to see all the way to the other side of the field. All the players are in front of us. But that 15-yard penalty, once again, when Providence is getting penalties, they're getting these 15-yarders. Got to clean that up. It gives Northside Methodist now down to the 48-yard line in Providence territory. First time in Providence territory in a while. It's going to be a quick swing pass out to Grantham. He's going to try to get on the outside, a pretty good block, and he gets a little bit of extra yards and gets the ball down to just about the 28-yard line, so give him about 20 yards on that play. By far the most impressive play that Northside's had in the last 8 or 9 minutes of game time.
It is, and where do they go? They go to the side with their two playmakers. Miller made a great block there to give him a little extra room, and then Grantham with a tough run, drug some tacklers there with him. Good job.
And Providence tried to strip the ball a little bit there, maybe gave him another 6 or 7 yards. So Eubanks with an inside handoff, and is going to bounce it to the outside. Providence gets it pretty well and holds them to about a 4-yard gain. At first, that looked like that could be a bigger gain, but Providence Speed was able to hold that down to about 5 yards.
Yeah, that's 38 Ford register, a sophomore, showing some good closing speed coming from his linebacker position to cover, it's kind of a sideline-to-sideline type play right there. So good job by Ford.
So Northside taking advantage of a face mask penalty, driving the ball down, 2nd down and 5 at the 22. Going to be a quick out once again to the main man of Grantham, and Providence able to get him down. We'll have to see if it's going to be a first down. We're hesitant because first downs aren't first downs, and so let's see what they're going to do here.
Yeah, that's both Ornell on the stop for Providence. They're just tossing it out there, hoping they can get a block from Miller, and then you've only got one guy to beat. And one-on-one football as an offensive coordinator, offensive coach, that's what you want. You want to trust your guy to make a move and win that battle.
Well, that's what worked for them in the first quarter when they were really going down the field. So it looks like they're going to measure with 2:20 to go. It would be a big first down for Northside. It would get them down to just about the 17-yard line. And it's been interesting for Northside. They came out really gangbusters throwing the ball. They've really thrown the ball a lot tonight, by far, probably 3 times as many times as they threw the entire game last week here in the first half. And it looks like they're going to be just short. It's going to be 3rd down and just about a half yard. And Northside really needs to get this first down.
They do. Obviously, they've got a couple of tries to get it. Clocks, they've got 2 minutes left, plenty of time here. And I believe they have one timeout left that they can use it if necessary at some point during this drive. But so he brings up. Oh, this is 3rd here, isn't it? Okay, I'm sorry. I thought that was 2nd.
Yeah, so it's going to be 3rd down and 1, and Northside's going to be kind of in that situation with 2.5 minutes to go. If you don't score, you want to use as much clock as possible because you get the ball back to start the second half. So Providence wants to hold them here, get a negative play if possible, an interception, something like that to kind of thwart this drive. 3rd down and 1, ball on the 17-yard line. It's an inside handoff.
I believe he got it.
And not getting any penetration there. It looks like it may have even lost a half yard. Interior defensive line in there.
Yeah, that was 77. Jackson Dykes was there first, and then 55. Michael Bridges cleaned it up. Great job there. Good penetration by our defensive line. That's a big kid running the ball from Northside, but he just couldn't get any momentum going.
Absolutely, and it's actually a loss of, I would say, 1.5 yards, not just a yard. So now it's 4th down and 2, and I'm sure Northside's coach is thinking to himself, how many 4th down plays do we have to run tonight? This has got to be at least the 6th or 7th one. So he's smart.
Think about this one.
Yeah, let the clock run down. Got 1.5 minutes to go. 35-14. Providence up 3 scores, and it's tense right now. 4th down and 2 with the ball at the 18-yard line with 1.5 minutes to go.
Your number 1 source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
A minute and a half to go, 4th down and 2. And it's going to be a run by Eubanks, going to try to get to the outside. He's going to get the first down, and it looks like he's going to get more, going to go in for the touchdown with a minute and a half to go on 4th down and 2. By far the most successful 4th down play for Northside, and gets them back in the game 35-20.
You know, I think that's a great call there by their coach. You put it in the hands of an athlete, and obviously Eubanks is an athlete, and you know, athletes make plays, and he certainly made one there. He was kind of hemmed up on the right side for a second there, but made a nice cutback and didn't just get the first down, obviously turned it into a huge play.
So Northside missing an extra point, getting a 2-point conversion. We'll see how this extra point goes. It is very important. And the kick is up, and it looks like it's no good. A high snap. Timing was off on everything. So Providence with a 35-20 lead, 15 points, but do get the ball back with a minute 26 to go. And as we've seen, 3 of their scoring drives have been 3 plays or less.
Yeah, again, as you called it, high snap there. Holder couldn't quite get it down, and Carter, the 8th grader, still got it off the ground, still made pretty good contact with it. Got to give him that, but got to get a better snap there.
Yeah, just that timing. He even took out just a little bit quicker than he should have. So a minute 26 to go. If there was a best case scenario for Providence, if they couldn't have stopped them on 4th down, they do get a minute 26 here to see what they can do.
We do. It's like we've got one timeout left on the board. You know, we obviously usually don't throw it around. I don't know. Do we throw it around to stop the clock here a time or two to try to get out of bounds? We'll see.
Well, like we've said, the last couple of times that they've had it, they've run the ball 41 yards, 23 yards, 33 yards, 20 yards. You might try another one of those inside handoffs. Might try Durden on the inside or Gus on the inside. Just see what that first play will get you.
Well, and you think, too, with Northside, it'll be interesting to what kind of defense they play. Are they going to play kind of a pre-bend? If they do that, we can run and get 15, 20, 25 yards at a pop, or one of our playmakers get some open space, and who knows?
Absolutely, and at this point, you could get the first down, run up, and just clock it, not have to use that timeout until you absolutely needed to. And Jeter's got a good enough leg that you could also get an opportunity for a field goal. If you got the ball down to about the 25 or inside, you probably have an opportunity at a field goal attempt. And to be honest with you, in the second game of the season, I think you'd want to try a field goal attempt because that's going to come up at some point. So Northside just doing the pooch kick once again. And Durden's going to get it at the 35, go straight up the gut to the 40, up to about the 44-yard line. Christian Durden with a good run gives Providence great field position. As we're talking about, if you're thinking about a field goal, now you're looking at just about 30 yards to get you in position to at least attempt it. So that's better than starting back at your 20 or 15.
Absolutely. And, you know, we've seen Smith make a great throw early. Maybe we see a fake handoff here. Maybe it may be on second down. Something where we do try to get it down the field to either Abe Chancellor, who's got a lot of speed, or again to Linder, who made the catch earlier.
So Gus Goldsboro in the backfield. Jake Smith going to do the inside handoff. Got a lot of room right here. And this is a chance to cut back inside. Gets huge yardage down to about the 36-yard line. Looked like there could have been a face mask in there. But this is an opportunity once again. They're just getting those big chunks of yards.
Yeah, and you see, it looks like that's the play they want to run just to see if we can get the edge and maybe go out of bounds, stop the clock. But Weatherford sees a hole, cuts it back, and gets another 10 or 12 yards instead of going out of bounds. So very positive play there on first down.
Yeah, there's still a minute to go, so you got plenty of time. A 21-yard gain there by Weatherford. Now Gus going to go on the inside. Once again, he's got a big hole. Give him 11 yards. Now you're down to the 25-yard line. And by my calculation, and I've never been to any practice, I think they could be close to field goal range.
I believe you are with the leg that Jeter has. I think he probably could get it here. We're running a lot of clock here, though. We didn't quite get the first down, second and short. The clock is running. We've lost 15 seconds already.
Well, once again, we could talk about that spot too, because it looked like he was way past that. So now an inside handoff to Grant Weatherford. Looks like he's got a big hole. He might go all the way. He's going to get inside for the touchdown, and just like that, 3 plays, Providence goes in for the touchdown, 36 yards.
Yeah, scanning the field, I was looking for a flag, but fortunately there's not one. Then I see 65 Holland Harris standing over there, helping open up that hole, and then obviously you see Weatherford's speed. He's really got it. If he gets on the edge, he can take it to the house, obviously.
Well, absolutely. That stretch play to the right is working tonight. So once again, Jeter on for the extra point. Very important extra point here. We've got tree problems. We got to get in touch with the Horticulture Club at some point this week. A tough snap. Jeter up.
It looks good to me. I'm waiting on the call from the ref. Yes, it's good.
All right. It is good.
Little delayed call there. I tell you what, Weatherford not only scores the touchdown, but he makes a great catch on that snap, which was behind him. Gets it back around. Jeter pauses long enough for him to get it down, and he converts. Nice job there.
So Providence not wasting time each time they have the ball, going 3 or 4 plays and scoring. It was 35-14 on 4th down. Northside goes in for the touchdown to make it 35-20 with a minute and a half to go. As we said, that was good news for Providence. 3 plays. They go right down the field, make it 42-20. So no matter what Northside does to start the second half, Providence will still have that cushion.
No doubt. That's a big thing here. We need to make sure we keep it away from their playmakers here on the kick, as we've done so far. Hey, look who's moved positions right here. Number 1, they've got number 1 Miller, where we've been pooching it every time, so he's waiting on that 30-yard line where we've kicked it the previous times to see if he can get his hands on it. Hopefully Jeter will see that, or one of the coaches will, and we'll kick it away from him.
The previous Northside player may be on the sideline getting hydrated with all these kickoffs that he's had to run. So let's see what happens. Good move by Northside to put Kennard Miller, the good runner, up where the squib kick has been going in the past. And Jeter does kick it all the way back down to the 5-yard line.
Great coverage.
Yeah, very, very good coverage.
Great coverage. Yeah, number 8, Abe Chancellor came in, disrupted that. Number 5, Durden comes in and finishes it off. Great kick by Jeter. Not only was it a long and high kick, it was over in the corner. Great directional kick there. And obviously Providence on top of things sees the Northside making the adjustment, but are not fooled by that.
And it knocks 8 seconds off the clock, so there's 13 seconds to go. You kind of feel like Northside Methodist, you either want to do one of 2 things. Do a little jet out to Miller, or you just kneel on it.
Yeah, you better do something safe, that's for sure, because you don't want to do anything crazy, and this game's over if Providence scores again.
Well, we saw how quickly the game changed when Providence made a big play with a turnover. That's exactly what Northside does not want to do. Does look like they're going to try to run a play. They got Miller out here in the slot, and they just do a quick handoff in the middle. That's not going to do anything, and that should be the final play of the first half.
Handoff up the middle goes number 4, Tyler Small.
Great first half there for the Eagles. A little sloppy at times, had a mistake here and there, but finished strong.
42-20 is our score at the half. Providence over Northside Methodist. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Your number 1 source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Enterprise State, we believe college is for everyone who wants a path to something better. And we're Alabama's fastest growing community college because we're redefining what college can be. More affordable, more accessible, more of the programs you need to find a high-paying job or fast forward the career you've already started. Whether you come for advanced technical training or a solid academic foundation, you'll leave with the tools it takes to make your future happen faster. Learn more and get moving today.
Lewis Smith Supply is dedicated to offering a vast collection of fixtures, faucets, and accessories for your kitchen and bath. Make your dreams a reality. Step into the area's only Kohler Premier Showroom or see Delta's Brizo collection for the latest trends in kitchen and bathroom designs. Lewis Smith Supply offers an extensive line of plumbing supplies for contractors or do-it-yourselfers. For more inspiration, come visit one of our showrooms in Dothan or Enterprise.
Your number 1 source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Here we go, starting the second half of Providence and Northside Christian Academy. Here's the kick, and it's a pooch kick down to the 29, and the first time that we've seen not a return on it, but it's kept the ball out of Kennard Miller's hand, number 1 for Northside, who is very dynamic with the ball. Providence leading 42-20 as we start the second half, and it looked like that Northside might have a little something going when they scored with a minute and a half to go in the half, but Providence went right back down, took control of it, and we've been saying it all night, but Northside really needs to score on this possession if they want to stay close.
Yeah, they do. You know, obviously they try to make some adjustments at halftime. We know their game plan was to come out throwing it around, trying to spread the field, use the athleticism that they have as an advantage over our defense. Are they going to keep doing that? We'll see. Looks like it on the first play.
So Kason Eubanks threw for 155 yards in the first half. He goes out with this a kind of not a bubble stream, but kind of just a quick out, and Providence right on top of that one, and maybe a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, had a good block there by his receiver, but Jake Smith came in really fast and made the play, the tackle there. A nice tackle. Now it looks like Smith is down with hopefully what is just a cramp. Looks like he's in a lot of pain, though, on the far sideline.
And that's what Providence had some cramps last week when you'd see somebody go down, and luckily it was just a cramp. I actually think that they gave him no gain on that play. So it looked like he was across the line of scrimmage, but that's a no gain. So it's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Jake's running off, so probably just a little bit of a twist or a little bit of a cramp.
Yeah, I did have a lot of problems with cramps last week. More guys playing both ways, hotter weather, and hopefully a little better hydrated this week as well.
So 2nd down and 10, and Northside Eubanks going to go out to the right, and Miller is wide open. He's going to try to make a move. He's knocked down at about the 46, 47-yard line, but once again, we saw a lot of that early in the first quarter. Didn't see as much in the second quarter.
Yeah, Weatherford on the stop there along with Ford Register, number 38. Had some pressure on the QB there. I believe that was Ian Smith putting that pressure on him, and he almost got to the QB before he released that, but a nice throw there and a big gain.
Providence did a nice job on Miller. He only had about 64 all-purpose yards in that first half. Looked like he was going to have a big first half, but they really shut him down in the second quarter. Northside 1st down and 10 at the 46-yard line. Going to be an inside handoff and a little bit of running room, moving the pile and getting just about 4 yards on the play, almost 5.
Yeah, Register number 38 in the middle there, hanging on for dear life, and then got some help from some other Eagles to bring him down there. Nice game, though, and Northside running the ball right up the heart of the Providence defense on that play.
And that play certainly did not give them as much as they thought that they would there in the first half, but it's kind of just keeps them honest. Here's just a quick out once again. A really good throw by Eubanks, leading the receiver, and that takes him right into a 1st down, about a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, nice catch, nice move there by the receiver. I'm trying to get the number over there. It looks like number 6, Luca Mansell, a senior from Northside. You know, they're really kind of going into a hurry up here, trying to get a little tempo going, maybe want to try to wear Providence down.
Making the stop for the Eagles, number 23 goes for number 29, Thornhill. It'll be 1st and 10.
So it's 1st and 10, Northside with a little bit of a drive here at the 43-yard line. Eubanks going to go straight back to pass, going to go up top. Kennard is open, but led him a little bit too far. Even if the ball's not knocked away, I think that was going to be out of bounds.
A good closing speed there by number 2 Weatherford on the and defending that. Had a little pump fake there from the quarterback. Looked like he was going to throw it short and then went deep, and he had him. He just missed on the connection, but the receiver was certainly open.
And that's a touch pass, and we watch it and we say he should have done this, should have done that, but it's a tough pass to have to throw and all the way across the field like that.
No question.
2nd down and 10, ball at the 43. About 10-10 to go in the third quarter. Providence leading 42-20. A fake inside handoff, and the ball's just a little bit high there. Had a receiver open, may not have been a big gain, but it brings up now 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, intended again for number 6, Luca Mansell, overthrown just a bit. We've seen that a couple of times on Eubanks, but overall, this kid's very impressive. And as we were halftime talking to one of the Northside coaches, I hear he's an even better baseball player. So I look forward to seeing him in the spring when the Knights and the Eagles match up on the diamond.
Yeah, you see that he kind of tends to rush it just a little bit, probably get his footwork down just a little bit, but that's nitpicking. He's had a really good game to this point. And think about last week, he had 110 yards rushing, and this week he's only got 24 yards rushing, but already got almost 180 yards passing.
Yeah, one of those rushes earlier tonight was a really good run from him. He's definitely got the ability, and you wonder if they keep spreading us out, maybe we'll see a few more draw plays the second half to try to get him some running room.
All right, looks like we have a little bit of movement early in high school, if the defense goes over the ball, that they will call them for offsides. That looked like the offensive line moved quick.
Yeah, I believe it was the left side of the offensive line for the Knights, and even a receiver had taken off as well, too. I don't know, it may have been a miscommunication on the snap count in the huddle even.
Well, considering that Northside had more than 20 penalties last week, they've done a much better job this week of not having nearly as many penalties. So they're spreading out here. They've got 4 out. You've got Miller in the slot there to the left. That's who you think he's going to look for. Eubanks once again going to roll out. He squares himself, throws it all the way down the field. Miller was open, but that was going to be a tough catch.
You know, obviously that was an incomplete pass, but that was a really well-thrown ball. I mean, he sets his feet as he's throwing across his body, sets his feet and airs it out, and it was really a great throw. Just didn't quite connect. The pressure there by Providence was number 54, Jonathan Wells, who has got he's not a heavy kid. He's actually pretty long and lean, but playing on the inside, playing some offensive line, got some speed, so chasing the quarterback down there. Good athlete, Wells. I hear he's a really tough kid as well.
Well, he made that big 4th down sack in the first half that stopped the drive, and you have to hand it to Providence. It looks by all means right now that they've stopped Northside on their first possession of the second half. We'll have to see here if they're going to punt the ball. They end up punting the ball, and very similar to the last punt that kind of went out of bounds, and maybe netting 5 yards there. And Providence going to have good field position at about the 40-yard line.
Yeah, that's a win for Providence for sure. Not only on the stopping them and making them punt, but on that punt right there. Great field position coming up for the Eagles.
So the last couple of times that Providence had the ball in the second quarter, they had 2 3-play drives, both netting touchdowns, getting big chunks of yards, a lot of times going right up the middle, so we'll see if that's the case here as well. Taking a look, and the starting offense out there with Jake Smith and Gus Goldsboro. Gus gets it once again on the inside, exactly what we saw before. Going to be a 1-play drive. It's going to be 60 yards. Gus Goldsboro right up the middle for the touchdown, and Northside's defense on the inside has just been collapsing. Give Providence credit, 60 yards for the touchdown.
Yeah, you know, when you see one go right up the gut like that, you got to give the center some credit. I want to call out Matthew Morris, number 58's name. What a hole for Gus, and he just explodes through it. 60 yards. I mean, what can you say? That's got to be demoralizing for Northside to have that on the first play of their defensive play of the second half.
Absolutely. Now, Gus with unofficially 150 yards rushing. He had 90 at the half and adds 60 here. So now we have John Jeter on for the extra point, trying to get 49 for Providence. We'll send it over to Corey, who has a better view.
Ooh, hits the right upright, and it's no good, unfortunately. Again, not a really good snap there. Weatherford had had to reach and get it back around and didn't get it down quite in time, and was pushed right and off the right upright there.
So Providence, though, with a 4-touchdown lead with 9 minutes to go in the third quarter, continuing to just knock chunks of yards off, and we're going to really see what Northside's made of here, because they need to get some drives going. If they keep turning the ball over, it's shown that they can't stop them, and it's going to turn into a name-your-score game.
Yeah, and as obviously the coaching staff, that's one of the things you're trying to do right now over there, is just keep these guys motivated, not let them check out. And, you know, again, you want to see who's going to step up in a situation like this when you're down 28 against a city rival. And, you know, you want to see who's going to give up, who's going to keep playing hard. And the coaches, I'm sure, will be watching that not only now but in the film later this week.
And there's absolutely no reason that Northside fans should not be encouraged by what they've seen. They win the first game. They come in. They're really pumped up against Providence, go toe-to-toe, get it to 14 all, and Providence kind of flexing themselves after that, but you're still scored 20 points with basically a half to go. Jeter once again with just a little bit of a pooch kick there. Almost had a chance to recover it, but Northside going to get a chance to go back on offense from the 46-yard line. Not exactly a kick I'd like to see up 28.
Yeah, I'm not real sure what that was, if that was something where he reads that on his own or something. I'm not real sure about the choice there and not kicking it a little further down the field. Back to what you were saying about Northside, I agree. You know, they're definitely going to be able to take some positives out of this game, no matter what the score ends up being. They did look impressive offensively early, and it's a difficult step up from the Independent School Association coming to the High School Athletic Association here in Alabama. And Providence has tested and played a lot of tough teams over the years.
So once again, Eubanks with just a quick out pass. A good tackle there by Providence, but a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, trying to get a read on who that is on the far side that made that play. I believe it is number 12, Jake Smith, the cornerback on the left side over there. Really nice open field tackle. Just a 2 or 3 yard gain.
Under 9 minutes to go, 48-20. Providence with the lead. 2nd down and 8 for Northside. Kason Eubanks had a good game through the air last week, a good game running this week through the air. He's just going to do a straight drop back pass, going to put it right up and see if he can get the long catch. Was right there, and one of the great calls of all time there, the official 10 minutes after the play throws a flag.
I missed that one. I saw good coverage, I thought. I
thought it was good coverage, too. It was a short ball. We'll see if they're going to call pass interference.
Yeah, it looks like Jake Smith may be shaken up. He is not getting up. I certainly don't want to see him go down here. Not what we want.
Pass interference on Providence. That was Jake once again that's down. Looks like he had a cramp. Pass interference, which is questionable at best. But it gives Northside hope. Gets them down to about the 37-yard line. 8.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, good to see Smith coming off on his own power there. Training staff gonna get some fluids in him and try to keep him well here. Speaking of that, I'll give a shout out to our training staff. Katie, who's our trainer, does a great job with our boys here and all of our athletes here at Providence. And she's got 2 of our students, Riley and Caitlin, helping her out down there. 2 of my softball players. So proud of those girls volunteering their time and helping keep these football players well.
They do a good job down there. Eubanks going to take it, going to do the inside handoff, and getting just about 4 or 5 yards. Probably one of the best gains that Northside's had with that play.
Yeah, really, I thought they had some running room there. Early on, it looked like a pretty good hole, but our linebackers closed it up quick, and I think, Mike, he may have only gotten maybe 2 yards.
Well,
hey, we'll take that. 2.5. How about 3? Maybe.
Our angle is tough because it does look like 5 yards, and it's only 2 yards.
I got a whistle. Stoppage of play here.
So it looks like Providence called a timeout. There's 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Providence 48 and Northside 20. We'll take a quick timeout.
Your #1 source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
We're back at Providence Christian High School, Northside Methodist with a quick run here, or quick pass here on 2nd down and 10, and netting just about 6 or 7 yards on that. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, that was number 6, Luca Mansell on the reception, and number 10 for Providence middle linebacker Harrison Mims covering sideline to sideline there. Good job by him.
And it looks like that Northside's kind of gone back to what was working in the first quarter with those quick out passes. So 3rd down and 2. 10 seconds to go on the play clock, getting the call in from the sidelines. Eubanks is going to do that quick out pass once again to Miller, who is exciting, and it looks like he's going to get the 1st down and goes all the way in for the touchdown. Looked like he was going to go out of bounds, but you see that speed, just made the corner, went in for the touchdown.
He did. They had a nice setup there with a block by the other receiver. I believe that was his partner, Grantham, over there, number 5, and I thought they had him bottled up, and if he would have tried to cut it inside, he would have been, but he used that speed to get to the edge, and then it was over.
Yeah, at that point, when he got it to the side, I thought, boy, they're just going to knock him out of bounds for a shorter gain. But you see why he's exciting, and that's a 30-yard touchdown pass for him, and that puts him over 100 all-purpose yards. That also puts Kason Eubanks over 200 yards passing, and it looks like they're going to go for 2 here. Their kicking game, so far for the extra points, has not been as good as they would hope for, so now they're going down with a 2-point conversion. Get it within 20. Eubanks with a straight pass is just a one man going to go over the middle. Can't tell if he caught it or not. It was low.
Yes, he did. He dove, threw it out in front of him on a slant there, and the receiver went down and made a great catch. delayed call by the referee, but yeah, he came up with it clean, it looked like, from here. A little life for Northside.
So Northside got a little bit of life. They're only down 20 now with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. The only problem is on the other side of the ball that they've just given up huge chunks of yards to Providence. We didn't even get to talk about it before the first play when Gus went 60 yards for the touchdown at the half. Providence had 375 yards unofficially rushing. Then with Gus's, that gives them 435 yards rushing with still basically the whole second half to go.
That is amazing. And I want to give a shout out right now to Coach Kenny Keith. He's at home, unfortunately, in quarantine right now due to COVID exposure. We're missing Coach Keith. We missed him last week, miss him this week. Be glad to have him back. But I know when he hears stats like that, Coach Keith's got to be happy. Yeah,
like you said, that is Providence football. So we'll see what Northside's going to do here. It doesn't look like Providence thinks they're going to kick it deep. They've kind of kicked it short somewhat. You've got Gus Goldsboro back and Christian Durden back. And we'll see what Northside's going to do and see if they may even try an onside kick. Oh, they actually kick it deep, a pretty good kick. And Gus Goldsboro lets it drop. Now he's going to pick it up at the 5. He's going to go right up the middle, carrying a few tacklers, and gets back to about the 20-yard line. And that's been the best opportunity that Northside's had on the kickoff.
Good gamesmanship there. Had a little formation that looked like they may try to squib it or maybe even onside kick it, and they end up kicking it deep, and great coverage. And that's probably the worst field position we've had, maybe the second worst in the game, if not the worst.
So now here comes Providence back out for their second possession of the second half. Their first possession was a one-play, 60-yard drive. The last few possessions they've had have been 3 and 4 plays, so we'll see what they try to do here. They've had a lot of good opportunities right straight up the middle. Christian Durden in. He's going to take a little bit of the pitch. Northside actually does a pretty good job of stringing it out, but Durden gets past him and going to take just probably about a 3-yard gain there, and he'll be disappointed because that's his shortest run of the day.
Yeah, flag on the play. I believe they're going to get us for holding there on the right side as we came around. So not a really good play anyway, but now certainly a big negative play. The 10-yard, bringing it back 10 yards.
Right, and there's still enough time in this game and big playability on Northside's that they could get back in this. They're down 20 with about 18 minutes left in the entire game, 6:50 to go in the third quarter, and now you start your second possession of the second half. 1st and 20. So Providence at this point needs to be thinking first downs. Christian Durden is the running back with Jake Smith in the backfield. And they give inside to Durden, and he finds some good running room, carries a host of tacklers up, gets most of that 10 yards back, give him about 8 yards on that carry.
Yeah, good run there, but it wasn't as big a chunk as we've been seeing on some of the others. So, Northside playing a little better defense now. Maybe that it's going to be second, an 18 now? No.
Give him 7 yards on that carry, and he's got 10 here in the second half. Unofficially had 77 in the first half, so give him about 87 yards. One of his goals is to try to get 100 yards every game, and he's pretty close here, just about 13 yards away. It is 2nd down and 12. He remains in the backfield. Jake Smith at quarterback. There's some motion, going to be an inside handoff. Got a big hole right here for Grant Weatherford. He makes it around the corner, has an opportunity to get just about maybe to the 46-yard line and give him 38 yards on that carry.
Yeah, really good run there. Weatherford speed getting to the edge again. Got to give credit to those blockers, Tate Thornell, Christian Durden here on the right side, helping him get that hole that he had on the outside. And Providence with a big first down there. You want to get out of that backed up in your own territory like that. So good job of moving the ball.
Yeah, and Grant Weatherford now up unofficially to about 174 yards rushing, and Providence really getting in some territory that's got to be getting school record-ish type things in this game. And there's about 5:47 to go. It's the officials' timeout right now, so we'll step away 48-28. Providence Northside Methodist.
Your #1 source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Back here at Providence Christian High School, the clock is running, coming up on 5.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Providence with a 20-point lead and driving. It is first down and 10. Jake Smith going to go inside to Christian Durden, and once again, he just kind of carries some tacklers, gets about 4 or 5 yards. It's not the chunk yards that we're used to seeing, but what you want to see is just move the chains and keep the clock running. 5.5 to go. You'd love to see this one get it down to about 2 or 3 minutes in this quarter.
Yeah, no doubt. We need to keep moving the ball. No turnovers, no penalties. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Don't help the opponent out. I'm sure that's what the coaches were preaching before this drive, and we did have the one penalty to start it, but we bounced back now, moving the ball. Positive yardage here, second down with about 6-7 to go.
Absolutely. The play clock's at 10. Really no reason to snap the ball before about 5 seconds to go. They're probably going to need to either call a timeout or snap the ball right away.
He's not going to get it off. Goodson did get a timeout. Coach Goodson saw that and saved us from a 5-yard penalty there.
So the second time out of the half, but there is 4.5 minutes to go. Like we said, ball resting right at the 50-yard line. If you could just grind it out, just play after play after play and get this clock running, that'll be the best friend that Providence would have.
Yeah, obviously this is Jake Smith's second start. But really and truly, for all practical purposes, his first start. And, it's a learning experience right there. He was a little slow getting our guys to the line. But Jake will learn from that. I see the coaches went straight to him, and we're talking to him as he came off there. We got to get that snap off and not waste a time out there.
Sometimes as fans, we see Jake play a little bit last year, and we think that he's comfortable in the role that he is, and he's played a great game tonight after being ejected in the game last week. And so you can see what he can do at quarterback. You can see what this team can do with him at quarterback, and they're just going to get better each week. The more he gets comfortable, the more Christian Durden and Gus get comfortable, and everybody gets comfortable with themselves. Like we said, a lot of Providence players are playing positions that they haven't played before in the past, or at least played this amount of snaps before.
Yeah, and obviously you hear we mentioned it before, you get better from the first game to the second game, a lot of improvement. We've seen that obviously in bunches tonight from both sides. As you mentioned, Northside cleaning their penalties up. They've done that well. Providence executing better the things that we want to do here at Providence, and the way we run the ball, move the ball, and then our defense has showed up big tonight, at least on stopping the run and trying to adjust to a pass-happy offense.
Second down and 7. Durden's going to go in motion. It's going to be that handoff inside to Grant Weatherford again. We saw that as a touchdown. Has an opportunity right here. They drag him down at about the 25-yard line, so give him 25 more yards, and he's going to go over 200 yards on the day.
Yeah, really nice run. Again, Weatherford just using that speed. Not a power runner, but he's got good vision, good speed, and, it's paying off tonight. That was number 4, Tyler Small, and number 22, Carter Stevens. Showing good effort there. Again, down big, but Stevens continuing to play hard, as well as Small there on that tackle.
Somebody needs to get word down to the sideline that Weatherford has 199 yards, so got to get him one more yard. Here's an inside handoff to Durden. He has a little bit of a hole, can't quite get out of it. Give him just about 1 or 2 yards, but all you got to do is just keep that clock running. Going to go under 4 minutes to go.
That's right. With the runs we've been seeing, it's almost like that was a disappointment, but hey, that's a good, we'll take it. Getting positive yardage. Nice play by 42, Cole Dykes there from Northside.
So Durden comes out of the game. Gus Goldsboro comes back in. And actually, it's been a really nice night for as hot and humid as it's been all week. It actually is cool. The humidity's not nearly as bad, so you're not seeing as many kids cramping up or getting down with any kind of injuries. Goldsboro goes a little bit in motion. He takes the pitch, and he stumbles a little bit, but it looks like he's going to get around the corner, might get in for the touchdown, gets down to about the 3-yard line. It almost looked like he kind of took some weird steps there or something like that.
He did. He was actually behind Ian Smith, who had pulled to lead on that play, and Ian was continuing to engage his block, and Gus was right behind him, and then he sprung out from behind him at just the right moment to break that long run. Unfortunately, we've got number 20, Derek Perry, a senior for Northside, down with an injury, so they're checking on him.
Yeah, we don't like to speculate on what happens, but by the looks of it, looks like it could be a cramp. We've seen a couple of cramps tonight. So the ball down to the 2-yard line, so give Gus another 22 yards on that. That gives him up to about 172 yards. And as we said at the half, Providence had 375 yards total rushing, and well on their way to over 500 right now.
Mike, I'm just impressed with how you're keeping up with these stats and calling the game at the same time, man. That's what I'm impressed with.
Well, I can do it all. So it looks like we've got that injury timeout. He's up and walking off, and that's really good to see. 48-28. As we said, Providence on their drives have had 3-play drives, have 1-play drives, 2-play drives, and when they've needed a longer drive, which is right now, they've gotten it, kind of knocked that clock down. If they could score, get it to 55-28 going into the fourth quarter, they're probably going to start to feel a little bit good. Coaches never feel good, but they're going to start to feel a little bit good.
That's right. You know, a lot of coaches, that's when they really turn it up. When you've got the lead, and you really got to get on your guys then, and don't let them let up, and try to help them make them understand that you can learn from every play, no matter what the score is.
So now we've got a first and goal. Looks like they're going to spot it at the 2-yard line. We're in tree territory for me, Corey, so you got to get in there. So it's a low snap, but it's like straight right back to Goldsboro. Just takes it easy in. Offensive line pushing Northside into the end zone. 2-yard touchdown for Gus Goldsboro. Really been his half here, and that gives him 84 yards on 3 carries just this half.
Yeah, he is. He's got able to run it. A lot of running room behind that offensive line, and showing a little limp there. Goldsboro is. Hope that's nothing major, of course. Looks like we're going to go for 2, I believe.
Yeah, it's been one of those nights where you kick a few, go for 2 a few, kick a few, go for 2 a few. So they're going to go for 2. Gus Goldsboro in there. Jake Smith at quarterback. You got Grant Weatherford there on the inside. Looks like they're going to try to go to the right side. That's what they do. Goldsboro, and he goes right in, barely touched in for the 2-point conversion. And now you've got Providence doubling up Northside, 56-28.
Yeah, you see him run right through an arm tackle there. Northside's just worn out on the defensive side of the ball. And, you know, that's one thing Providence does to their opponents. You know what's coming, but it's physical. And Providence has learned to play physical football over the years. And Northside will too. They're going to face stiffer competition in the association they're in now, and they're going to get better from that. No question, just as Providence has done. But right now, they're just outmatched in the trenches.
And you know, they had a lot of high hopes. Fans had a lot of high hopes that this might be a year that Northside gets in and could surprise Providence. But like we said in the first half, there's no reason for any Northside fan to be disappointed by this. You've got some things to build on. You get the ball to Miller just a little bit more. Eubanks is a good quarterback. You're going to see them score some points this year.
Certainly.
And there's still 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, so they're not done. So it looks like that they put Kennard Miller once again back at the 30, where Jeter has been kicking the ball quite a bit. So we'll see if in chance he gets an opportunity to get the ball. We haven't seen him with the ball on a kickoff. Last week he went over 100 yards for a kickoff return on the very first play for Northside Methodist. Let's see what Jeter does here, see if they've recognized that he's over there. They go strike straight up the middle, kind of dies at about the 14, 15-yard line. Smart play there, just following the ball at the 16-yard line. That's where Northside will take over.
Yeah, credit again to the Providence coaching staff. I saw them yell into Harrison Mims, who then told Jeter, don't kick it to the right side as normal. So good job by the coaching staff. I believe that may have been Coach Sanders over there radioing in that to Mims. Yeah, this game, it's 9:22 here at Providence Field and the Eagles Nest, and most of the time games are ending about right now.
And we've
got a whole quarter to go.
We've got a whole quarter to go, and you know that Northside's going to continue to throw the ball. So, Corey, I hope you brought your pillow and alerted the family that you may be staying over tonight. So
if you are driving a white Nissan Kicks,
so Eubanks takes it, going to just do that quick out once again, but they kind of airmailed that one. Providence really read that one nicely.
They did. Nobody was fooled on that one, and sailed on Eubanks a little bit again. You know, that kid, tell you what, I know you pitchers ice their arms. He's going to have to ice his arm tonight as many times as he's thrown it.
Absolutely. We're calling the game from outside, and there was a problem with the car. I took a couple of seconds to make sure that wasn't my car that they were doing. All right, Eubanks back, 2nd down and 10. He's going to roll out. That's been his bread and butter, to roll out to the right. He has Miller open, but just a little too much time. Didn't have enough time to throw the ball there.
Yeah, at 65, I believe that's Holland Harris in his face. A really tall kid, a 6'4", 203-pound senior there, putting the pressure on him.
And a little bit of the zing is out in Northside too. You can see that, and it's difficult. They came in sky high, really wanting to show Providence, and it's a team to be reckoned with in the future. It's 3rd down and 10. Eubanks back. He's going to look at that right side again, just going to throw the ball up, and just close to Miller, but couldn't get it. He really kind of tried to touch pass there as well. I don't think Miller saw the ball. If he did, he might have adjusted to it.
I think Eubanks had to get rid of it a little quicker than he wanted to due to the pressure that our defensive line was putting on him there. So 4th down deep in their territory, you got to get rid of it. You got to punt it.
Yeah, you absolutely have to kick it, and I think that Northside's coach would be the first to say that was probably the worst series that they've had of the game.
Yeah, and you know, when you come back, are they going to continue to throw it like that and stop the clock and just give the ball back to Providence? You certainly hope not. You don't want to extend this game any longer, and you know, Providence is going to put in some backups here, I'm sure, in a second, and those guys are going to give 100%.
Absolutely, and you got your punter in, who hasn't had a real good day yet punting, so we'll see what he's going to do here. That's this one. Very, very smart by Providence, because I don't think he really meant to do what he did, and so you can give him 1 yard on the punt, and Providence now with the ball really, really deep.
Yeah. This is going to get out of hand, I'm afraid. I hope we get some of our backup some time here pretty quick, but one more possession probably for our starters, and then we'll see some new faces, I feel like.
Jake Smith still in there at quarterback, Christian Durden in at running back, and Durden's coming in right now at, let's see here, let's do some quick math, and he's about 10 yards away from a 100-yard game. And so I assume he's going to get the ball, and there he is right up the middle, and he just kind of bounces his way in and gets maybe 5 yards, something like that, but again, just keeps that clock running.
Yeah, you know, again, I'm obviously a Providence guy, no question, but good to see the Northside defense there fighting, standing up. They're not giving up. That's what you want to see as a coach. I saw 55, David Peters, a sophomore, sticking his nose in there helping out, and unfortunately, we got another Northside player cramping up here. He's down.
So you've got Christian Durden unofficially at 98 yards, and we have Grant Weatherford, who's gone to 199 yards. Gus Goldsboro has 174 yards, and so now you've got Providence really racking up those yards. And like we said, if I could do math quicker, the worst part is I work at a financial institution. You'd think I could do math this quick, but
that's 22, I believe, Carter Stevens, who's played a heck of a ball game for Northside. He's playing defense, offense. He's their punter. He's kickoffs. Made some really good tackles. Carter, a student who used to go here to Providence, knows these guys on the other side very well, and obviously giving his best effort to try to beat some of his old classmates. So I hope he is going to be okay and will be able to come back in the game shortly.
I did some quick math during that, and we're at about 530 yards of rushing right now, with Providence 2nd down and 7 at the 17. Smith going to take the, it was a bad snap, and it looks like Northside may have got on it, and really, really rough snap there. And Northside did get it, so it's another turnover, 3rd turnover of the night for Providence, and not what coach wants to see when you're up 56-28 and you're at their 17.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened on that one. That was from the angle that we have. It's not a really good angle, so I'm not sure if I don't know. I'm not even going to speculate.
My guess is the ball came out at an angle, didn't come straight back, and they just weren't able to get on it.
That's what it appeared from here. I wasn't sure, but 44, Cade Hester for Northside on the recovery. Quickly pounced on it. And
good job by him to continue down 28 points, to continue to push and make that fumble recovery. It's a straight up the gut play. It gets about 5 yards, and that's been a staple for Northside in tonight's game.
It looked like 10 Harrison Mims and 55 Michael Bridges on the stop there.
Yeah, and you've got to give him credit. He's been setting the tone for Northside, doing all those hard running up the middle to kind of keep the defense inside if they can. Looks like Northside might be not contesting it a little bit, but just content to run the ball a little bit and keep that clock running.
Yeah, and as a coach, you want your kids to keep fighting, of course, but you don't want to put them in a position where they do give up. So it's good to see them running some clock and trying to get to the end of this game healthy. I mean, right. There's a lot of games left.
Well, fans don't understand that if your focus is not 100%, even though you're down 28 points, you can get hurt in this and kind of lackadaisy will go after a ball or something like that. And so it's good that Northside's continuing to fight, go right up the gut. Again, that's going to be right there close to a first down, and looks like they're going to give them a first down, and Northside keeps rolling, coming up under a minute to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, some hard running there by number 4, Tyler Small, who's a senior for the Knights.
And on the stop, the Eagles, number 22, Reed Linder, and number 55, Michael Bridges.
So coming up on a minute to go here, and Northside continuing to spread things out with a runner in motion. Going to go back, and we've seen this as a lot of really, really quick passes. Going to try the long pass right here, and did not. Wasn't even close.
Yeah, well,
I'm just going to have to tell you. I'm just going to have to tell you right now that these are the kinds of things that frustrate me. That the wide receiver kind of fell down and kind of fell into it. I mean, that is a play that every referee in high school falls for, and you can't. You got to be better than that.
Yeah, there was a referee a little closer to that one who held on to his flag, and probably for a reason, but, we all make mistakes, and anyway, hate to see that, but that's okay. Northside getting something positive out of that, but I thought it was good coverage by our defender.
I thought it was a good coverage, too. They really had no chance of getting it, but gives Northside a first down. Still inside their own territory at about the 44-yard line, under a minute to go. Eubank's going to do another inside handoff. He's going to bounce it to the outside, try to get around the corner. It got a little pop there and give him just about 8 or 9 yards, pretty close to a first down. By far his best run of the night. Yeah,
that's, again, Tyler Small. Frankly, he's got pretty fresh legs for to be heading into the fourth quarter as much as they've been throwing the ball. So a little burst there as he got to the outside. Good running.
So it appears that he got 9 on that play, so it brings that down, second down and 1. He's going to go up top, and it's a pass over the middle. Looked like he caught it there for a second, but able to knock the ball away. That was a play that worked a lot in the first quarter. Hasn't really worked since.
Yeah, a little slant there intended for number 5. That being Tyler Grantham, who's had several catches. Abe Chancellor made a great play, getting his hands in there. You're right, that ball was called. It looked like for a split second, but Chancellor gets his hands in there, knocks it away.
15 seconds to go in the third quarter. Is third down and 1. Northside just goes inside Smalls, and he's going to get taken down once again, losing 2 yards. Providence, for about the third or fourth time tonight on a 3rd and 1 situation, get a tackle for loss.
Yeah, great play. The sophomore duo there, Harrison Mims and Ford Register. You're going to hear those names called out a lot over the next several years on defense for this Providence team.
Well, we've come to the end of the third quarter, by far the quickest of the 3 quarters, with Providence leading 56-28. We're going to take a quick break and come back for the final quarter here, Providence against Northside.
Your number 1 source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Smith Supply is dedicated to offering a vast collection of fixtures, faucets, and accessories for your kitchen and bath. Make your dreams a reality. Step into the area's only Kohler Premier showroom or see Delta's Brizo collection for the latest trends in kitchen and bathroom designs. Lewis Smith Supply offers an extensive line of plumbing supplies for contractors or do-it-yourselfers. For more inspiration, come visit one of our showrooms in Dothan or Enterprise.
At Enterprise State, we believe college is for everyone who wants a path to something better. And we're Alabama's fastest growing community college because we're redefining what college can be. More affordable, more accessible, more of the programs you need to find a high-paying job or fast forward the career you've already started. Whether you come for advanced technical training or a solid academic foundation, you'll leave with the tools it takes to make your future happen faster. Learn more and get moving today.
your number one source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
He's got the face for the booth.
Here we go, 4th down and 1, probably more like 4th and 3, and Eubanks got a wide open Miller, hits him, he tries to make a move, and Providence able to keep him in front of him, but that gets him just about 15 yards and keeps the drive going here to start the third quarter.
Yeah, got the ball in the hands of his playmaker, Miller, who, his kid's explosive. He's really impressive. As a senior, I'm wondering, does he have a chance to play college ball somewhere?
And that looks like, for Eubanks, that looks like about his 5th or 6th completion, so he had really had a lot of completions in the first half, and they were able to hold him down a little bit there in the third quarter. Here's Smalls one more time up the middle. He's just tripped up there. Looked like he had a chance at a good gain, but got a trip up to give him 4 yards.
Yeah, again, that's forward register 38. Tripped him up by the ankles there, just got enough to throw him off and cause him to fall to the ground. Good job by Ford. Ford, is playing a lot at linebacker, obviously starting this year for the first time, and he's a bright spot on this defense for sure.
So Eubanks back to pass, a straight pass. He's under pressure, and he's going to go straight down the field. And once again, the receiver falls down. The ball's intercepted, and they're going to call pass interference, I think, once again.
Yeah, from this vantage point, Mike, it looked like our receiver kind of had his arm extended straight out, and when a referee sees that, he's more likely to call it. Not saying it was, not saying it wasn't, but I definitely saw our defender's arm get straight out on that one.
Yeah, I think what I'm seeing is guys that are just kind of like running themselves into the ground and kind of falling down, and so it's unfortunate, but it is 56-28, just a tick under 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter here in this game, and Northside continuing to fight.
Refs are talking this over. I'm not sure.
I've told you 100 times when the officials get together, nothing good happens. So we'll see what happens here. It's like they're kind of talking about what the options are. I don't see a reason that you would not take the penalty.
No, it's first down.
Unless it's somehow offsetting.
Well, I appreciate your patience, folks. We don't know what's going on, just like you don't at this point.
That's right. That's right. Well, it's been a big night for Providence on the ground. Last week, the offense was throttled. They were shut out 18-0. Come back tonight, put 56 points on the board, over 530 yards rushing, completed one pass for 19 yards, tried a few others, but once they started getting those big chunks of yards, no reason to try to pass the ball at all and just keep it on the ground. And really, really big nights. And with just a couple of more opportunities, you could have 3 runners over 100 yards.
Yeah, you said Durden's at 90.
He's at 98.
Okay, and I hate to put you on the spot here, but I'm going to anyway because I know you know this. How many yards does Jake Smith have?
He has 59. He hasn't run it in the second half. So here's Northside after the pass interference penalty. They go right up the gut to Smalls once again, and he's going to go straight in for the touchdown. And Northside putting a touchdown on the board with just a little under 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Puts them up over 34 points. It's now 56-34.
Yeah, aided by a couple of big penalties on that drive that kept it alive for them, and hey, you take advantage of those things when you get those calls, and Northside certainly did that right there. I didn't see a lot of effort by our defenders on that play, and I'm sure they're going to hear about that. Obviously, they played a good game so far. I'm certainly not taking anything away from them, but you don't want to lay down and just cruise to the finish line either.
Absolutely not. So now here's Northside's going to try the extra point, yet to hit a kicking extra point. We'll see how this one goes. Everything looked much better that time.
And it is good. I tell you, yeah, much better snap, and they got the snap right for him, and Fitz-Carter connects there. Good job by number 80.
Yep, so now it is a 56-35 game. Providence still with a 21-point lead. They'll be getting the ball back, and like we talked about on the last possession, just get chunks of yards and use that clock. Is going to be much more of your friend.
Be interesting to see if we see some fresh faces come in for Providence on offense this time. It looks like I do see a couple of those, but as Coach Goodson's talking to him here on the sideline.
We do need Durden's parents to get down there to let him know he needs 2 more yards to get 100 yards, and so they can have 3 100-yard rushers. It looked like Coach Goodson was talking to the interior of the line there that got kind of pushed out of the way, and probably, like you said, didn't like that effort. Even though it's 56-28, you got to give that effort 100%. And it's just a teaching moment, and the kids understand that you got to go hard 100% no matter what the score is.
Looks like we're taking an extended break here before this kickoff. Here we go.
They're trying to see what is our ability to be able to talk extemporaneously here about a game that's 56-35.
Easier said than done, right?
The good thing is, like we talked about before, it is a nice night. Probably the nicest night we've had here in Dothan, Alabama for most of the summer. So kids got to like that. Fans got to like that. So not everybody's going to leave here hot and sweaty. So we'll see what Northside does here. Very similar to how they've kicked off before. Last few times it's gone to Christian Durden, and he's gotten the ball up to about the 30-35. We'll see if they're going to onside kick, kind of just do a little bit of a pooch kick, and very, very smart. Just get the ball and just fall on it. That's Providence football right there. When you talk about the success of Providence, it's being very well coached, not trying to get that turnaround, take a big hit, fumble, just go straight down.
Yeah, that's number 3, Tate Thornell. Very, very heady play there. I agree 100%.
So now we'll see Christian Durden is in there, and Jake Smith going back in at quarterback. So not seeing Harrison Mims at all, the backup quarterback who played the whole game last week. So Jake still in there. Christian Durden sitting at 98 yards for the evening. Here's the snap, going to go straight into Durden. He's got a big hole, able to just take tacklers up. Just that's all you got to do. Just get about 6-7 yards, puts him over 100 yards, and also just keeps that clock moving and want to keep those sticks moving.
Yeah, nice accomplishment there for Durden, getting to the 100-yard mark in what is his first varsity action, at least full-time. He played some last year after he moved up from the junior varsity team, but really good start for him. We missed him last week, and you see how much we missed him last week. It's good to have him back and look for a big year out of him.
Well, every team needs a 1-2 punch. It's very, very difficult to have one player as your running back, and it's nice to have 2. So second down, the give once again is to Durden. He stays low. Looks like he can bounce to the outside. He's got a big hole, and he is able to break free once again. And looks like he stepped out of bounds just about at the 38-yard line, then gets thrown to the turf, but another big gain by him and give him about 25 yards on that carry.
Yeah, great effort there by Durden. Ran through 3 tacklers, breaking those and getting a lot of yards out after contact. And again, that's the kind of running back he's going to be for us. He's going to get met at 2 or 3 yards after he gets a hold of the ball, but going to keep going and run through a lot of arm tackles.
Well, you don't want to see him go down in 56-35. Keep running, keep playing hard, and keep up the action and run some clock, but still keep trying to score, but just show that effort. Just keep that effort being 100%. So Durden's still in there at running back. We have a stoppage in play. We have, may have been delay a game. Yep. When the official way in the far end, he's the one watching the clock, he calls it. Really no reason to have that at this point in the game.
No, another teachable moment. We're going to learn from that, and at the end of the year, that's not going to happen.
Absolutely. There's under 10 minutes to go. You'd really like to get them to have this drive down and give it back to Northside with under 5 minutes. Something like that would be really good. So now it's 1st and 15. Providence has been knocking off chunks of yards and really knocking on 600 yards of total offense and rushing yards. Here's an inside handoff, another big gain, and going all the way down to about the 32-yard line, about 11 yards on that gain. Could have been enough to take it to the house, but still a big run.
Yeah, I feel like we'll see that play several times this year because Chancellor has it really, really good speed. If you can get him to the edge, big things will happen. And, you know, we've obviously got several playmakers on offense, and the more the defense keys on those guys, the more it opens it up for plays like that.
Yep, so give him 13 yards on that. It was 1st and 15. Now it's 2nd and 2, exactly what you want to do. Get big chunks of that yard back from that penalty. Durden's going to go in motion. It's going to be a pitch out to him. He's going to cut back to the outside, going to cut back to the inside, and one too many cuts there, and it was a little bit high, and it looks like he's going to bring down 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, that was number 4, Tyler Small. Durden tried to juke him, and Small hung in there and made a nice tackle.
Yeah, and Small's really getting a lot of work in the second half on the offensive side, so you got to hand it to him, playing so well on the defensive side.
No question. The good thing right now, Mike, is the clock is running.
Right, and once again, we could talk about these spots all day long. So it's now 3rd and 2, and it looked like he fell down at the chains. So probably 3rd and a yard and a half, 3rd and 2. Looks like Smith might keep this on his own. No, he's going to give it inside. A nice cut back by Durden. He gets that 1st down. Give him another just about 6 yards on that play. Keep the clock moving and keep the sticks moving.
No question. That's all we want to do right here. Stay healthy and run the clock. As you mentioned, Durden showing good vision again with that cutback. Nothing to the left where the play was designed, and he did a good job of cutting it back and finding the hole.
Yeah, you make what you can out of that. He's had 13 carries, so pretty good work for someone that didn't get to play last week and coming off an injury. But I think tonight's weather helps a lot on that. If it was a little bit more hot and humid, he may not get as many carries, but he's got 13 carries. It's now 1st down and 10 at the 23-yard line, going under 8 minutes to go on the clock. Smith's going to keep this one himself. He's going to go out to the left. He's got a little bit of an avenue. Might be able to get to the corner, get in for the touchdown. Just got knocked out of bounds just about the 4-yard line, the 5-yard line. It looked like he might be able to kind of inch his way in and dive in, but give him 18 yards on that carry.
Yeah, I believe we're going to see Harrison Mims come in here. Well, no, Smith bounces up. I thought he had a cramp. He was down for a minute. See him calling Sims down on the sideline.
That gives him 77 yards on the night, and so it'd be interesting if we had a statistician here if Providence has ever had 4 100-yard rushers.
I'd be really surprised if they've had 3. I mean, that's pretty impressive, but it'd be fine with me if Smith just hands it off for the rest of the night.
The Eagles, ball resting at the Knights' 5-yard line.
That's an inside handoff to Durden. He goes straight up, gets a 5-yard touchdown, and Providence answers the touchdown by Northside Methodist. 7:43 to go. It's now 62-35.
Yeah, the offensive line just having their way. That's going to be the heart and soul of this offense. We've got great running backs, but it doesn't matter how many great running backs you have without an offensive line, and ours is doing a really good job, of course, tonight. It's going to be interesting to watch them continue to mature as the year goes on.
Well, they're playing much better tonight than they did last week. Durden now at about 140 yards unofficially with a couple of touchdowns. Jeter on for the extra point. Low snap once again. He got the kick up. Looks like he made it. And now it's 63-35, Providence with about 7:43 to go. And as we're trying to figure out these records here, now you've got 3 players. Well, Durden's at 140 yards. If you could get him 10 more yards, you'd have 3 players at 150 plus. And now you got a quarterback who probably is not going to play anymore, sitting at 77 yards.
Yeah, certainly hope that's the case. Need Jake healthy and rested, and it's good to get him some snaps again. He got a lot last week, obviously, but it'd be good to get him some snaps this week and get a little more comfortable in a little more relaxed environment when you've got a lead, as we do, than what he faced last week at Rehoboth.
And Providence has got to be knocking on the door of 700 total yards, if not already at 700 total yards. So when we're able to take a look at this game a little bit later in the week, it'll be interesting to see if they've set some records tonight. And I've only been around for 4 years. I'm not sure how often they've scored 63 points, I wonder.
Yeah, that's maybe a couple of times, if that. But, yeah, you're right. I don't know who the stat guy is around here. I'm going to have to find out who's the guru.
I know. We got to ask around who's the historian to help us with this. But, one thing that Providence probably looked at this week, too, is the roundup of the players that were the players of the week. There wasn't one from Providence. It's probably been a long time since that's happened. And I think this week you're going to see a lot. That was a very good kick as well. It's kind of squibbed down at the 20. Jeter nearly making the tackle after doing the kick, and a host of Providence players knock him down at about the 27-yard line. So with 7.5 to go, down 28 again, Northside Methodist comes out for another series.
Yeah, good coverage there by our kickoff team. I want to mention, of course, is before the game tonight, Providence honored Clayton Jordan, a long-time fixture here at Providence. Just a great man in so many ways. You know, I hear the old saying, to love somebody, to know somebody's to love them. And if you knew Clayton Jordan, you loved him. He meant so much to the Providence family and Dothan in general. And we certainly mourn Clayton's passing. And it was great to see him honored tonight before the game and to see his son on the field with his grandchildren. Great gesture by Providence, of course, and we're going to miss Clayton.
And there's no one that met him that didn't love him. So Smalls on the inside once again. That's a play they've just been running over and over and over. And sort of surprised that Northside has all their starters in, but I don't really know what their depth chart is to see how much they would have behind these guys.
Yeah, that's the one thing about Providence and Northside. You know, we play in bigger classifications because of the count on private schools, and you know the rosters are thinner typically. And last week that really is what hurt us in a lot of ways. We had several things that went against us, but Rehoboth had so much depth, and we just didn't have it last week, and that's why we were cramping up so much more than they were, of course, towards the end of the game.
So 2nd down and 10, and Kason Eubanks going to throw it over the middle, and it looks like it's going to be a short game, maybe 5 yards, something like that. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down, and it looks like probably a 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, Eubanks showing that athleticism there, kind of spun out, got away from the rusher, and was able to get that off and make something positive out of that.
And Northside continuing to do what they have done all game. They're not just running the ball or anything like that, continuing to run their offense. Once again, you know, we talked about a lot of the stats on Providence's side. On Northside, this may be the most passes they've ever thrown in a game. It's got to be at least 40 plus. Here's 3rd down. They just kind of get it out to Miller. He tries to make a move, gets the 1st down, out of bounds. Northside's going to move the chains, give them just about 6 yards on that pass.
Yeah, a little pitch and catch there. Going to stop the clock. Looks like we've got an official's timeout, I believe.
We will take an official's timeout on the field.
And we'll take this timeout with the officials with it 63-35, Providence in the lead with 6 minutes to go in the game. We're back at Providence Christian High School. 6 minutes left in the game. 63-35 Providence. It is a 1st down and 10 for Northside. They do an inside handoff and they're trying to get around the corner. Not really able to get around the corner. Maybe 3 yards on that carry.
Yeah, good job of keeping him contained there by our defense. That's number 3, I believe, Thornell, and then also number 29 for Providence. That's that's another Thornell. Tate and Bo teaming up there.
And Smalls has to enjoy the second half. He's gotten a lot of carries on it, and he's played well defensively, and he's going to earn him a night here. So it is 2nd down and 7, coming up on 5 minutes to go. Northside continuing to run the spread offense. You've got Miller up in the slot. Looks like it's going to be a quick out to him, and then they're going to try to go deep. And coming back, it's the old back shoulder fade, which is very hard to defend.
Yeah.
Nice.
Whether intentional or not, it worked, didn't it, Mike?
Yeah.
That's number 5, Tyler Grantham, making a great adjustment on that throw. And you knew you can't defend that. Our defender was where he was supposed to be, I believe, but just
it's
worked out well for the Knights.
Very, very hard. Staple in the NFL, staple in major college football, and a good pitch and catch right there. There's goes Smalls one more time right up the middle. He is met by the middle of the defense, and he's going to get no gain. Yeah,
several Providence defenders swarmed him and kept him from getting anything there. I see getting off the bottom of the pile, middle linebacker number 10, Harrison Mims, among several other Eagles.
And that's one thing last week. We didn't get to see Mims as much on the defensive side because he had to play quarterback. And what we're hearing is how well he's going to play this year at linebacker, and we're seeing it tonight. Well, here's another quick toss out and to the north side and gets it down to about the 30. It's going to bring up about a 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, that's number 6, Luca Mansell again, the senior, with another reception. Durden and a couple of others in on the tackle there.
So it brings it up 3rd down and 3, coming up on 4 minutes to go in the game. And Northside continuing to run their offense with this kind of wide open attack. We've got Miller up in the slot, and he's been one of their main targets today. Providence has done a pretty good job with him. Here Smalls once again. He's going to try to get to the outside, cannot, and actually going to lose yardage, and going to bring up a 4th down and 4. And I don't know if Northside worked on 4th down plays this week, but this has got to be the 6th or 7th one that they're going to be faced with.
Yeah, really good tackle there by 65 Holland Harris. Thought the running back was going to get the edge, but Holland showed some good speed there to close in and make the tackle.
Yeah, and Smalls really tried to put the ball out to see if he could get the first down. He just didn't realize he was already back a yard or so. So 4th down and 3. Eubanks is going to roll out. He's just going to wing it down. He's got a guy down there. Intercepted by Providence. We've seen 3 or 4 times that similar pass, and very well played in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you can't play it any better than Abe Chancellor just played that. He stayed with the receiver, saw the receiver look back for the ball. He then turned and then made a great play on the ball. Chancellor's an outfielder for the baseball team, and you see his ball skills right there and making that play. Looks like he's down with hopefully what is just a cramp right now.
Very, very well played, and we saw at the Rehoboth game some of the passes weren't quite as well played. Tonight they were played a little bit better, and also got a little bit of help, tonight. But should be very, very excited for that play there, and a really good highlight for him. And the first turnover, I think, for Northside tonight too, for as many times as they've thrown it. So we do have some backups in. I noticed Jake's still in at quarterback, but I noticed the offensive line is going to be just a little bit of makeshift. Let's see. And looks like Gus is in still. So Jake's just going to keep the ball, going to go around the right side. There's actually a left side there, actually a little bit of a hole, but a great closing tackle.
Yeah, I believe that was 44 for Northside. That's I've called his name a time or two. Cade Hester had a fumble recovery earlier in the game.
I noticed that Trey Douglas is in his first action of the season, playing one of the wing backs. So we'll see if he can get some action. 5'8", 240 pounds. Like to see what he can do with the football. Give inside to Gus Goldsboro. He's got a nice move to the outside. He's out in the open field, tries to go down inbounds. They're going to give him that down inbounds and give him just about 24 yards on that carry. Now he's knocking on the door at 200 yards.
Yeah, smart play by Gus there to stay inbounds and keep that clock rolling. And he just floats, man. He's such a good runner. He's so light on his feet. Sees the holes, makes the cuts. Doing a good job for us, and going to have a big year this year if he can stay healthy.
I've got him at 198 yards, and so we'll see if he can get one more carry to get over 200 yards. And like we said before, we think that Providence is probably coming up on close to 700 yards. I think they're going to let this wind down and take their final timeout.
You got a new offensive line in there now.
Well, just under 2 minutes to go here. Providence, Northside Christian Academy. And we got an inside handoff here with Gus Goldsboro. He takes 2 or 3 tacklers with him, goes back on the inside. A long run. Looks like he's going to go in for the touchdown. We're going to give him officially 56 yards on the touchdown. Puts him over 200 yards, puts him at about 248 yards. And now Providence at 69 points, looking to go 70 there. And give a lot of props there to that backup offensive line.
Hey, you got to. I mean, and Goldsboro, he was about to run out of bounds and realized that would stop the clock. And I think he was going to just kind of go down, and he cut it back, and it opened up for him, and he takes it all the way.
He has 170 yards in the second half tonight. And Providence looking to put point number 70, as we talked about before. We'll have to see how many times Providence has scored 70 points in a game. Here's John Jeter. It's a tough snap, and now Grant Weatherford's going to run it in for a 2-point conversion to give Providence 71 points. And Weatherford needed 2 yards to go over 200. I wonder if that would count for his 2 yards.
That's a good question. I am no football expert when it comes to really anything, but certainly not statistics. But, those last 2 plays, neither one of those were playing that way. I think
Right,
we hand it off
right.
to Gus. We think we get 5 yards. They tackle him. The clock runs. We get a little closer to this game being over, and then there, ball snap, mishandled. We take off running with it and go for 2 points. Obviously, that's not. I'm not trying to rub it in here. I certainly don't think that's the case.
So Providence leading it now 71-35, kicking off for what has to be the 61st time tonight. With 1:41 to go, we'll see if Northside's going to continue to pass the ball or if they're just going to run the ball and run out the clock here. And we've talked about this is exactly what Providence needed, something like that, kind of get that confidence back. They got the crispness back on offense, so you can be excited about the next games here. Northside putting up 35 points tonight, showing last week they can run it, this week they can pass it. Better days ahead for them. They've got some players. Just get some of that experience going, and they're certainly going to win some games this year.
No doubt about it. You look forward to seeing that and seeing them improve as the year goes along. Looks like we've got some clean uniforms here on the kick coverage team for Providence. It's a good sign. I hear some parents over here that are happy to see their young men get in the game.
So we'll see if one time tonight they just kick it deep. And they do kick it deep, a very good kick right over the head. It's a touchback, the first touchback of the game. And with 1:41 to go, Northside will come out, and I'm sure we'll have a host of backups on the defense as well.
Yeah, let's see. Going to see some fresh faces on defense here. Look forward to that. Maybe a couple of guys can get on the stat sheet with some tackles here for Providence.
These are the times that the kids need to make the most of their opportunities. He has 1:41 to go. They're still going to run the ball. You still got to get in there and make that tackle and let the coaches see that you've been paying attention. You've been paying attention in practice and the whole game, and get in there and make some plays.
Yeah, this is your chance to shine. Might as well get after it.
But it kind of shows you the depth that not everybody in there is a backup. You still got to have a couple of the players that play in there. So here we go. It's just going to be a straight run by Northside, and tries to bounce it to the outside, jumps over. Very, very good play there by Providence to hold that to just a no gain, I think.
Yeah, I can see, I believe that may have been 13 for Providence on the tackle.
I think so.
That's William Shipman, who is a senior. Nice play there by him.
Yeah, it's very good for him to get a chance, especially as a senior, to get a chance to get in there and get on the stat sheet and show the coaches what he can do. He could have easily given up on that play and got blocked out of it, but he dove in there and made the tackle. So Northside just letting the clock kind of run down, and they'll be content to run just a couple of more plays, it looks like. Another handoff on the inside. There's Shipman once again. They cannot block him. He has turned into Mike Singletary and Brian Urlacher. They can't get him out of the play. He makes his second tackle.
They did a good job setting the edge, fighting off the block to make the play. Got a little help there at the end from 54, Jonathan Wells.
And so looks like Northside's going to have to snap it one more time. There's about a 7-second difference. Providence going to come out of this game 1-1, 71-35, 700 yards of total offense. This should be the last snap of the game. Once again, right straight up the middle. There's another tackle. And Providence is going to walk away from this 71-35, most likely a record-setting evening for them, and gets that confidence back, gets that swagger back for next week.
Absolutely, that's what we want, and we got a big game next week. We're going to take this positive momentum, hopefully have a good week of practice, and get ready to take another win next week, hopefully.
All right, 71-35 is your final here as Providence Christian takes out Northside. We appreciate you watching tonight, and be sure to tune in next time. Providence is at home. 71-35 is your final. Mike Bridges alongside Corey Driggers. Thanks for watching, and thanks for watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Your #1 source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Enterprise State, we believe college is for everyone who wants a path to something better. And we're Alabama's fastest growing community college because we're redefining what college can be. More affordable, more accessible, more of the programs you need to find a high-paying job or fast forward the career you've already started. Whether you come for advanced technical training or a solid academic foundation, you'll leave with the tools it takes to make your future happen faster. Learn more and get moving today.
Lewis Smith Supply is dedicated to offering a vast collection of fixtures, faucets, and accessories for your kitchen and bath. Make your dreams a reality. Step into the area's only Kohler Premier showroom or see Delta's Brizo collection for the latest trends in kitchen and bathroom designs. Lewis Smith Supply offers an extensive line of plumbing supplies for contractors or do-it-yourselfers. For more inspiration, come visit one of our showrooms in Dothan or Enterprise.